Make sure you hit the subscribe button because we need more listeners. And make sure you hit the subscribe button because we need more followers. The bigger the followers, the bigger the guests, the bigger the invoice, the bigger the check. Man, let's just hit the damn subscribe button before you watch the video. Why do we have to beg you all to do this? I'll holler at y'all. Hope you enjoy the episode. If you do, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, share everything that's on this page, and we'll see y'all later. Peace. Yo, setting up the meeting for us on ones and twos, on the ones and twos, on the ones and twos. Yo, 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 check it out, yo. Yo, welcome to Sunday Spitters with your host, Sir ErvinJWilliams. And today we gonna have some phenomenal guests in the buildings. Not only do we have rappers and poets and everybody else and actors and hosts and designers and all these things, we got some phenomenal people on the show today. Today we want to give it up. We want to give it up for the one and only ACKURATE in the building. Shout out to ACKURATE in the building. And next we have up to bat the dope, the sensational host in the city of St. Louis, that energy, giving them that energy, everybody. And we also got that one author, writer, mama, dope is a motherfucker. We giving up for RAYNE, everybody. And we got one of the OGs in the game, been doing this longer than anybody on this platform right now. Give it up for that 16 biggity balls in this bitch. And also, we got a councilwoman, a philanthropist, an author, an educator. This woman does everything. Give it up for the one and only LASTARR. Everybody, give them a round of applause. 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 Y'all can turn on. Y'all can turn on y'all microphones right now. How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing?
What's up?
What's right?
You say what?
What's good?
What's good? So first question I'm gonna ask Xynthia, make sure you put that information to what you call it. Make sure you all tune in. Welcome to Sunday Spitters. I am your host, Sir ErvinJWilliams, and we got some remarkable guests on here. I just want to ask y'all how y'all doing today. I'm gonna start with you, ACKURATE. How you doing, man?
Man, you already know I'm good here, man. How you feeling, big bro? Appreciate you for the invite. You know what I'm saying? What's poppin', family? You feel me? We here. You know what I'm saying? We here. Word. Let's get it. You feel me?
How you doing doing how you doing pandemic and everything like that?
No, it was good. You know what I'm saying? Like, despite the fact that, like, you know, being a full-time artist and, like, you know, stuff getting shut down as far as travel or whatever, like, you know, it gave me time to rest and, like, you know, really hone in on my craft and, like, you know, figure out stuff about myself, you know what I'm saying, in the podcast.
Yeah.
So we good money over here. We feel you.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you? What about you? Energy. Taking all of my energy. My energy.
Man, I cannot complain.
What about you? Energy. You say what energy?
I cannot complain. I'm just grateful for just this opportunity to be a part of the show today. On top of that, you know, I can't even, again, like I said, complain. So much love has been shown this 2021 already. Can't wait to see what the rest of the year has in store.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. What about you, RAYNE? How you doing this pandemic? What's going on with you?
It made me hurt. I hate virtual learning. I'm just going to say that. But it allowed me to expand the way that I teach and raise my children. I became more of a scientist. And you know what's funny? I realized things about school that I loved. So between that and then learning how to market myself to be more so in the corporate atmosphere. So then even expanding my craft to where I'm using my poetry in the medical field now. So it's like, yeah, but you know, I've been working on some things, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, I'm learning to be a complete artist. That's what the pandemic did to me. It taught me to be a complete artist.
And I like basically how to be a boss about what you're doing.
Exactly. And doing it to where in places that other people aren't at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Places where they don't see your face or our melanin, our beautiful melanin.
Exactly.
Often.
Exactly.
I understand.
Because by the time you hired me, it was through the paperwork. You ain't know all this brown skin was here, but I'm hired now.
Gotcha.
Boom.
Gotcha. Yo, bad. What about you, 16 boys? How you doing, man, during this pandemic? How you doing? The wife and the kids and the grandchildren and everybody and their mom over there. How y'all doing?
This pandemic, I look at it like this. It's taught me many things. One is to be grateful.
Yeah, you know buddy.
Be appreciative.
Yes.
Like me and my wife are apart right now because she's working out of Atlanta. I got hurt here in St. Louis, so you know things got messed up. Plus the pandemic popped off, so it kind of threw everything off. You know, threw everything off. So, you know, it's I'm so grateful, bro. That's the best way to put it. Just it's taught me to be grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. It taught you to not only be grateful, but you know, cherish the people and the memories that we have, because nobody is promised tomorrow at all. That is not a promise. That is not a promise.
Look here, this is like the realest thing that's ever been told to me. They say on your healthiest day, you're sick enough to die.
Facts. Those are facts. Those are facts.
So,
what about you, LASTARR? How you been doing during this pandemic and everything?
You know, I mean, I echo what everybody else is saying. Definitely been blessed. You know, it's taking a toll from so many levels, from like, you know, my family personally that's been affected by it, and then of course the community that's affected by it. But I mean, I think that, you know, like everybody else, is like you just kind of find, especially us being creatives, you know, just kind of find ways to still, you know, thrive and push on, and you know, and I think that I've been trying to make the best, you know, with what we've been given. But it's been challenging, but it's also been a lot of opportunities that kind of sprouted out of this moment too.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's some opportunities that even with this show, like this show coming out, shout out to Real STL News for hitting me up and contacting us and like doing this show. They wanted me to do something for Black History Month, but they actually asked me to continue it as long as I would like to continue, which was really dope. And so that is something that I'm appreciative about. And also just you know, being grateful because I still have, both of my parents are still living. You know, my sister was just shot 3 weeks ago. She's still living.
I'm
like,
sorry to hear
we
that.
are blessed. Oh yeah, we are blessed. Like, it's things that go on in people's lives. That's why I've always taken the point to check in with people, because you just never know. Some of your strongest friends are going through the most horrendous things, and just because they're strong don't mean they have to be strong all the time. You understand?
Hey,
what I'm saying?
can I speak to kind of where you go with that too? One thing I want to just kind of add is that, especially for us poets and creators or whatever, like this kind of forum, this kind of setting, for a lot of us, this is church. So it's very fitting that it's on a Sunday, but this is church. So I mean, any way we could get it. So I mean, I would rather be in person with all of y'all, but everybody that's on here right now, you know, all of us, we got this thing, but it's like I wish that, you know, we could have more in person, but even if it's virtual, you know, is good enough, because for some of us, you know, this is not just, this is life and death for us. Like, this is our bread and water. This is how we thriving.
Let me piggyback off that real quick. Asia, that's just because we family. Y'all gotta understand that. 10, 15 years, maybe long. Ervin, close to 20 years. You know what I'm saying? This is, I mean, when you around people like that for so long, and our energy has always been 100. You know what I'm saying? We had those up there, and you know, we handled them hiccups. They ain't in town no more. We're gonna speak on that right now. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
you being messy, bro. You being messy. But it's one of them things.
I love y'all. Know me. I love St. Louis. I love our poetry scene, and I will not let anybody step on it for any reason at any time. Point blank.
And what I love, and I just want to, I say this on every show, I just want to thank you all for doing the light work, because light work ain't light. And if you know that load and that burden that you carry, you know, sometimes we come in, we feel everything, but to be a poet and to be a writer and to be an artist during this time is a magnificent time, because there's always time to make history. So I'm going to do something different today before we go into the conversation, because this is really on my heart. I don't know who this is for, but this is something I found in my upcoming book, Mr. Duplicity, that will be released this summer. It's something I found about, you know, a lot of people in St. Louis grow up with single parent unit homes. I was a boy who grew up with a single family home. And This is a poem in a conversation because I realized I was speaking with my father about 4 or 5 years ago, and I realized that I would never be the boy who wanted to be like his father, not in a bad or malicious way, but it was something that hit me that I would never necessarily have that relationship with my father that other people have had with theirs or may have had with theirs. So this poem is called A Boy's Unfounded Admiration, just to get the poetry started a little earlier this week, all right? A Boy's Unfounded Admiration by ErvinJWilliams. He can never see me, not for the man that I am or the boy in which he desired me to be. See, I prayed for forgiveness for him more than I prayed for myself. Self-doubt, all caused by the excuses he had given me. Broken promises and Christmas gifts that never entered these hands. Birthday cards that would never exchange or plan. See, the years have done something to me. Made me jaded towards the people who truly love me. Made me look at my relationships as if we could never be. Why wasn't I enough? Why wasn't I enough? Why wasn't I enough? Why wasn't I the son who wanted to be just like his father? Why didn't I want to be Superman? Superman took care of his children, right? I remember that little boy that sat on the porch waiting for the father to come, but the doors never opened and the hugs were never given and the baseballs were never thrown, and eventually the excuses became distant. Then began my distance from innocence, from people, from love, from acceptance, from reality, from hurt, from happiness. I had been taught to swallow my childhood. I had been taught to swallow my pain, my hurt. Never let the words pain creep from your lips. I am broken. And that pill is not one I am willing to accept nor swallow. But I loved him. I loved him in all of his imperfection. I longed for him in all of his broken promises. I cried his tears from the abandoned boy inside of him. And even with his imperfections challenged my perfection and my perfect childhood existence, I never faulted him. I never faulted him for my feelings about their adult affairs. I never faulted him about my illegitimate brothers with different women. I never faulted him about the unpromises and the in promises of not doing drugs coming through my door. You see, the one man I trusted unconditionally failed me as a child, and he saved me as a man. My children will not know of this pain. My children will not know of this pain. My children will not know of this frustration. My children will not know of this hurt. My children will not know of this agony. My children will never, maybe. That's that piece.
Whoa.
Man.
Set it off.
The perspective of that is like, man. Yeah, you got me with that one. Because I recently started the
I love it. I love it because I was on the other end. I was blessed to have that father figure in my life. So, you know what I'm saying? I understand, by me being a lot older now, I understand the importance of it.
Yeah.
You know, importance of, that's why it takes a village. Because I was just rapping one of my partners yesterday, and he was like, should he be mad at his chick for going to her father first instead of come to him? And I said, no, because that's who she's supposed to go to.
Right.
You know, and here you can make her feel comfortable enough and secure enough to come to you, because if she felt comfortable enough and secure enough, she would have came to you in the first place.
Ooh, that's a word.
I said a lot of places, and that's where, you know, the father figure comes in. Like I tell everybody, like I put a post up the other day. I said, I don't do stepchildren. I said,
exactly.
That's mine. You understand that? I mean, if you accept her, you accept everything that comes with her. Period.
Yep. It's the,
you know, that's the father figure. That father figure influence comes in it. So, you know, I understand the importance of it. So, you know what I'm saying? So to see the strong women out here are doing it on their own, I commend you, because I know it's.
And shout out to those single fathers that's out there doing it. I never knew so many single fathers. So I started doing taxes at Dana's tax company, the firm, back in the day. I never knew there were so many single fathers. And I'm talking about not people that's just trying to get kids on their taxes and claim them. Like, it's single fathers out here, like strollers, babies in the arms, baby mama in jail. Like, It's some crazy stories. So I just wanted to do that to kick it off because my energy was saying do that. And I don't know who that was for out there today, but that's what my energy told me to do. But before we go any further, let me shout out some people that's in this room. Shout out to Max Brown, Jen Dub, what's up? Daisha Polk, Yolanda Fountain Henderson, Shauna Alicia, Lee. Hey, what's up, Leah Lang son? What's good? Anaya Rome, Caroline, Auntie, what's up, Teresa Anderson, Sierra Raya Dottie. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Vincent, I see you in here, accurate. Let's see, and Felicia Mitchell. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in with us right now. So I'm gonna ask this question. Anybody can jump in. How do you define, as a poet, as a writer, as an artist, how do you define success?
Ladies first.
I'll kick that off.
Okay.
So here's what's so interesting, and that's such a great question to ask, especially entrepreneurs, because we have such a huge part that we play in this community, and if we don't all have like a shared vision for what being successful looks like, how do we continue to do the work that we do? Like you said, light work isn't light. It's definitely a heavy burden because there are a lot of considerations, and when you think about success as a consideration, you have to consider how we all have these different standards that we want to reach as artists, as creatives. And even with that bar being set, for me in particular, and of course I can only speak for myself, I realized that my happiness isn't always in the next poem that I write, or the next poem that I remember, or the next person that like cheers me on. My happiness comes from me setting goals and accomplishing those goals. So it is an ongoing thing, because while I am naturally an optimistic person, I feel like success for me is the ability for me to continue to set goals and to achieve them on a consistent basis. So I'm gonna let somebody else, I'm gonna pass to somebody else.
I'm gonna echo what you just said there. So for me personally, I don't have children. So to me, being around young people and, knowing that I come from a village of people who have poured into me, I think about like this quote I came up with, like, live your life like you care about the legacy you will leave behind to future generations. So the way that I feel like I would determine success is seeing people under me, have a model, to like a blueprint to model after, so honestly, I don't even feel like I will really see the depths of their success. I'll be long gone, but hopefully like the seeds that you're planting in the younger generation will be manifested, like basically who planted seeds in me, like hopefully I'm living out their manifestation of what they planted in me. But success is seeing people who have been attached to you in some way grow and evolve.
And see, Asia, to piggyback off what you just said, like that remind me of one of Maya Angelou quotes when she says, I am the hope and the dream of the slave. Like I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why I am not afraid of anything, because I know when I walk through the door, 10,000 people walk through the door with you got a problem. You're messing with a little G God that got a 10,000 spiritual army behind him. You got a problem. What about you? What about you, ex Blue Rain?
For me, I define success as completion without compromise. Because a lot of times what I'm learning is that people will reach their goals, but give a part of themselves in the process. So therefore the success and the impact will not last. You have to, I have learned
word. Give some hearts for that. That's a word. First of all, you need to make a sweater that says completion without compromise. Write that down so you don't forget it, because if you don't do it, I'm going to steal it. Yes.
And then tag me in it.
And tag you in it. And it's going to be yellow and black like Daisha's dope sweater. Show that sweater, Daisha. That's about a woke brand. WK Watson. When black women do well, we all do well. Make sure you support WK. Matter of fact, tag her in this day to let her know we're talking about woke brand right now. I'm sorry about that, Xynthia.
No, you're fine. But no, real talk, because one thing I realized is that a lot of I've been doing this for 11 years now, professionally traveling. I done been overseas, different states. And one thing I always wondered why I wasn't more popular. And I realized it's because I don't compromise. And there's a cost to having values and standing on them. You can have values, but if you're met with the right opposition and the right dollar amount, and the right proposition, those values will be tested.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, success is being able to be me unequivocally, unapologetically, auspiciously, with audacity.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Absolutely. And holding your integrity. Like that is something that people don't understand anymore.
Right.
Your integrity is everything.
And you know what?
It's
I learned that from dealing with y'all. Oh Lord, I learned that from dealing with y'all at the doggone tax office. What did y'all, all y'all Virgos? Once y'all was done fucking with somebody, oh, that's it.
That's it.
We don't backpedal, we don't backtrack.
like that.
We don't do none of that. And that actually, the firm helped affirm me to be able to be.
That's dope. What about you, 16 boys?
Man, success is pretty simple. It's piggybacking off of Asia. If my success to me is seeing the next generation strive, move forward, because we got to build. I mean, it's all success is a foundation. If you can't build off of that, then you got nothing. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Or if your foundation built on quicksand, bro.
Yeah, foundation built on quicksand, you're gonna know real quick when you can't breathe.
Yeah, real quick.
What?
That's a word. That's a word too. Real talk. What about you, Accurate? I'm sorry, Daisha. What you were saying?
I was gonna say, but just to touch a little bit on what Rayne said, just as far as having that not being able to compromise, even with the accomplishment of the goal, or having the part of you that you lose in that process. I don't think you lose it. I think it's a piece of you that evolves, because every goal that you attain, every level that you reach, sometimes you even have to sacrifice some of the old you in order to become the new you.
That's fine.
But see, that's growth. What I meant by compromise is someone telling you that in order for you to do what it is you want to do, you have to accommodate what they want.
Oh,
yeah. I understand both
that's
parts.
also the dynamic. It's like somebody telling me, well, in order for you to be on my stage, you need to have blue hair. If you want to see me with blue hair, buy the book.
And what is the name of that book again? Rain, by the way. What is the name? Read that name for me, please.
It's called Blue Life 2, the continuation of the story. It's a compilation of poems that I wrote from 2009 to 2014.
And where can they find that at?
Amazon. Go to Amazon and type in XBLURAYNE, and my collection will come up.
My collection of books. Real Sadiddy, didn't she? My collection. All you needed was a cigarette. What about you, Accurate? What? How do you define success?
I mean, I honestly believe that success evolves over time. You know what I'm saying? I think that like that word, especially for like, a person that's in the arts or whatever, like it just develops over time.
That's in the what? What that's in the what?
Develops over time. You feel me?
I say a person that's in the what?
In the arts.
I love when you say that, because all of your New York accent come in. He like, for the person that's in the arts. The what?
Yo, you gotta tell.
Arts and stuff. You just gonna take it all out.
I was waiting for the sun to drop.
Nah, but for real,
I don't want to put nobody on the spot, but Accurate, I want my t-shirt, dog.
I've been waiting on you. My man. You feel me?
Statement, Accurate. We being rude.
It's good. You feel me? Like, personally on my end, like, success for me was finding myself. That was one of my biggest successful moments in my life or whatnot. But honestly, I kind of echo off what Asia said as well too. You know what I'm saying? Like, the idea to me is to continue this journey full of consistent checkpoints in life, to find purposes, to strengthen those purposes, and to create, a legacy that breeds longevity. And I feel like that's purpose, period or whatnot. Material things, it's icing on the cake, period. That's just how it is or whatever, But to be gone and to have people continue to live, what you've given them, like, that's legendary right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is, I tell people, that is the secret. Every writer understand that is the secret. Every writer understand, once you are a writer and once you are a published author, you will never die. You will be immortal. Let me tell y'all a story that a lot of people do not know. Zora Neale Hurston, one of the greatest writers of the 19th century, was actually placed in a graveyard without a headstone. They try to throw dirt on her name. They try to erase her out of history. They try to execute her out of history, like they did Queen Pharaoh Hatshepsut.
Yep.
So there was this woman by the name of Dr. Angelou and this other woman named Alex Haley who went, yo, what happened to that woman who wrote Their Eyes Are Watching God that we used to read when we were younger? Why can't we find her work anymore? And their brilliance, their knowledge, their wealth, their fame brought this woman back to life and put her back in the conversation. So when you are a writer and you are published, you would never, somebody might find your book 100 years from now in their grandfather's attic and say, who's Asia LASTARR? And now Asia LASTARR is back to life with Rock What You Got, looking in the back of there where her books, where her lineage of children books that she got back there. Rock What You Got. She got 398 children books, all of them dope, all of them around the Black stories. Tell us something about Rock What You Got, Asia.
398.
Oh man, you know what? Rock What You Got, Rock What You Got. So Rock What You Got, oddly enough, is actually a poem that I actually wrote in my very first book, Refuge. So it was a poetry book, and I want to say this, and I don't know if any of the other poets can kind of relate to this, right? Like, because when you're writing for you, and when you just writing, sometimes you just write. Sometimes you don't even know what you wrote. And so with that particular poem, I don't remember when I wrote it. I don't remember why I wrote it. I wrote it, right? And it went in my book. It took for somebody else to, like one of my college classmates, Anthony, he was teaching out in California. And he was like, you know, oh my God, this poem, Rock What You Got. Now, mind you, this was 2011. 2011, he's like, this poem, Rock What You Got, you know, like this is like, he's like, I read it to my students, and, you know, his whole class bought the books and stuff like that. So I was like, okay. But it was from that moment that he almost, it's like he introduced me to something I wrote, but it's almost like he helped me put meaning to it. And then like every time we would do like, you know, open mics, if I go to any of y'all open mics or whatever, at the end of any set, I would always end with Rock What You Got. So it was a poem I wrote to myself, for myself. But then when I started thinking about my first children's book, that wasn't going to be it either. But it somehow or another, it kind of evolved into that. But really, Rock What You Got, the children's book, is just that poem. And I just kind of revised it a little to fit the kids. But it's about the message. The message is all about, we are so unique. We so different. All of us on here right now, we rocking our hair different. We like, we bringing our own individuality, but somebody have told that young person that it's something wrong with having a gap in your teeth. There's something wrong with wearing braces, with having freckles, you know, and I'm saying embrace those freckles, embrace those gaps. Somebody wish they had that skin color. You know, you might be a young person who have alopecia, so you don't have hair and feel insecure about that. But somebody wish they can go bald just to rock it like that. I know, you know, it's so many different things that make us who we are. We all unique. You know, but it's saying embrace those things. You might have a birthmark or something like that. You know, intimidated by, but it's all about loving who you are, and then first, and then from you loving who you are, then it teaches you empathy to love everybody and appreciate who they are too. So Rock What You Got.
And I'm glad that God made us all different, because I swear there were 3 billion Sir ErvinJWilliams running around here. I would have shot all of you. I'm telling you now, because I get on my own nerves sometimes. You hear me?
Hey yo, and two, I want to piggyback off what Asia said too, because like it's one thing that's important that I feel like as an artist we should always understand too, is like you should be able to have fun impressing yourself as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like one beautiful thing you said, Asia, was like you look back at a piece you wrote and you found more of yourself in that piece.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Beautiful when you can go, regardless if it's revisions or just like to a piece you wrote back some years or whatever, some days, whatever, and you like, dang, I wrote that.
What space was I in when I wrote that?
That is craziest, like beautiful things about being an artist is that, like, you know, creativity is so, it's just so relentlessly, like, you know, no limit to it, because like you always can go back to a piece and be like, dang, like, you know, that right there, I needed to read that from myself to make sure I get through this situation, or somebody going through this right now. Let me slide this piece over to them and, like, you know, help them out. Like that's the beauty of like the artistry or whatever, and that's also using your platform correctly.
And not only that, sometimes I tell people this too. Sometimes you write into your future self and don't even know it. You pick a poem up and you go, wait a minute, 2004 Ervin, you didn't know that you was going to go through this in 2020, but it became relevant. So we have to keep in mind, that's why the platforms in which we have and the writing in which we put out, we have to be mindful, because that same poem that helped save your life can save somebody. Like if you were late to news, or James Baldwin, you saved a little black boy on the north side named Ervin that didn't know he was a writer and picked up your writings and went, oh, wait a minute, black boys can write? We can be books?
Right.
Who knew?
You know what, Ervin? I want to piggyback off of that, what you're talking about, because like you mentioned earlier, it's like I got all these books, right? But I still have not completed the very first book I thought I would release first, like back in like 2005, and it's called All She Ever Wanted. And what I realized is, especially as a creative, as a writer, like you can't force nothing.
No.
Like I feel like when I think All She Ever Wanted, I think I still have to live some things to really, and maybe it'll never be finished. But that was my first book. I started writing it, and I'm like, wow, like I never. Even my first children's book, Rock What You Got, was not that. But I'm like, maybe it's just not the time or the space to do this shit.
It's like having children. You don't know which one coming first, but they come when they supposed to. When you
I don't know, but
they give you a due date, and that's the calculation.
They gonna
but
come
the
when
manifestation of it happens. But I have a book that I have a completed cover for called From Heart to Heart. I'm Every Woman, that I am still writing, and I started this book in 2007.
Yep, that's how I feel about
this. Allow the incubation process, because even with the title, All She Ever Wanted, do you have what you want yet?
Man, look here.
I'm gonna throw something.
When I wrote the piece, the piece I got called The Strength, which is on my first album.
Yeah,
I wrote that piece took 7 years to write, because I started. It wasn't even meant to be what it was when in the end, because it went from, I read it like, man, whoa, okay, but I would always, this is me when I'm writing, I would stop if I'm not feeling it. It's like I try to zone in on what I'm feeling at that particular time. Is it gonna be something more comical, funny type of writing, or is it gonna be something very serious, something deep? Is it gonna be something that, you know, that's gonna pull something out of somebody? It just depends on what I'm feeling at that time. If I don't feel it, I stop right there, because you can't rush that. You just can't.
You should never rush it.
Which brings me to this point, because I know we artists, we can talk all day about this, because first of all, we don't get a chance to be around other artists. Let me tell y'all something, you athletic people who don't like talking about art. When artists get around artists, listen, we will go all day about art. It may not interest you, but we will talk about everything in the arts, because that's what we do. Before we go any further, let me shout out some people. I want to shout out Mariana Joy, Christopher Kaiser in the room. He said, what's up? Deveron said, what's up? Let's see, who else is in here? That's y'all talking to people. Paris, how you doing, Paris? Thanks for tuning in. Linda, thank you for tuning in. Paris D'Angelo, thank you for tuning in. Roy, Andre McKinney, thank you for tuning in. Janae Broom, thank you for tuning in. Shauna Alicia, Real STL News is up in there. They Real STL News always log in. They be posting y'all websites, posting where they can find y'all books. They making sure they amping y'all up. Shout out to Real STL News. And Yolanda Fountain, thank you for being in here. So I want to get some poems up out of here, because people came, they didn't come to hear me talk. They didn't come to hear the brilliance of Sir ErvinJWilliams. They know I'm brilliant. They came to hear you all. So I want to start off. We're going to do 2 poets, who I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick, I want you to go first, Accurate, and then I want you to go second, X Blue RAYNE. And they going to do these poems, introduce your poem, the title, why you wrote it, and spit that hot And everybody put y'all phones on mute, because y'all know we be and ahhing. And no, you know what? Keep them on. You can and ah if you feel it. Let's go.
All right, yo, I'm gonna call this one a journey, because it's pretty much what it is, you feel me? Or whatnot. Right. You're gonna get it like this. I say, it's been a lot of pain inside the soul of the righteous. As I write this, I'm popping a proposition for proper spit in the crisis. It came to a close. They be asking me who's the nicest. I just point to the heavens, because their revelation is priceless. See, my lines be a haiku, sublime mind, sky view. This a hike too, a different state of mind whenever I skew. Man, it's that accurate philosophy, vocalizing velocity, promising what is real. I'm never camouflaging my odyssey. Look, y'all want that metamorphosis, Morpheus morphing corpses. With the courses and the sources exhorted to make this portrait. I be pouring porcelain portions, the fortunes of forensics. This the manifested memories of history's existence. I'm scripting for the children. I'm scripting for the children of the fatherless. Mothers keeping them promises, but it's obvious when them documents overdrafting your confidence. Wait, queen, never lose your tolerance. Don't put your life inside of a compliment. Peace. I wrote this piece while I'm steady paying those homages. I say I'm blessing you. I say I'm blessing you. I'm crafting a confessional. I circulate my stressing and aggression to progression. Few know my logic, understanding the topics that frolic inside this prophet. I'm prominent with this knowledge. Acknowledge my evolution as moving inside this unit. I'm reconstructing a student with metaphors for the movement.
Come on, boy.
Come on, Jesus.
That part.
Are you done or are we messing you up? We sorry.
Right, I'm sorry.
And that terminology turbulence takes a toll on the chemistry. See, arguably I was a misfit. Now that's just a part of me, so pardon me. This that complex chemistry, that progress, process and pain and the energy. You can trigger my heart in this vigorous art. See, this that auditorial agony, I'm cynical smart. This that rigor mortis rapture. I'm just a raptor. I was raised by a queen and a pastor. The chapters of life introduced by these factors I capture and write visually what is fractured. That's a pen game stature. So this that calm before the storm, the skills that appeal in typical career forms. This that opening opus, the typewriter treachery, the wordplay wizardry, the wisdom and weaponry. See, I knew my life was not an option. That's why I be shadow boxing myself. I be thinking I'm Jack Johnson. I done swung in every direction, fighting in this arena. See, I made it out of the jungle. I swam through the aquafina. See, solitude, that's a freezer. The worst than depression. I pray to God and believe it because I knew my ink was a blessing. Now you see the life in this message from birth to beyond life. I give you this insight with that diabolical foresight. So this that information infantry, the vocal validity, the simulation synergy, the catastrophic calligraphy. These words are for the feeble. I'm trying to show you people that your soul and cerebral, that's a combination lethal. So
come on, boy.
You burnt your house down.
Come on.
That fire.
Let me tell you, accuracy, I did not come to play with you children today. My wordplay and my alliteration is sick out here. You hear me?
Can I say this if I never get a chance to say this ever again? Accurate. I am in love with the way you handle words.
Yes.
Like your wordplay is like sick. It's phenomenal. I'm in love with how you use words.
Man, like, it's intentional, it's intimate, it's like he knows the structure of the origination of every letter. That's what it feels like.
It's boxing.
It's what?
Jabbing. It's boxing. He's jabbing you. Then
it's like you want to revive you at the same time.
Looks excited. You think he done, he come punch you again. You're like, enough, accurate, enough.
It's ridiculous.
I was about to say, you all, if you love that poem that Accurate just spit, make sure you hit these poets cash apps. If you love what they saying, make sure you hit these poets cash app. I made them in all capital letters so you can see them. You can send $1, a quarter, a nickel, anything, because these poems ain't free. In my Kendra Lamar voice, hey, we are poets. We are out here. We are out here right now during a pandemic where we can't perform and get on road to make our money. So send whatever you can to whom ever. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, shout out to everybody that loved your poem. You getting all praise up here. What's up, Raven, Marley, Stuffy, Davis, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in. Now we coming up to X Blue Rain, about to spit that hot shit.
All right. So the name of this poem is called Unripened Fruit, and it was my attempt at a numbers poem.
Okay.
So let's see how this goes. They knew about his appetite for undeveloped gardens with unripened fruit, yet they let him around me.
Stop, pause, go back.
Rewind.
What you're not about to do is just mumble through that line, because now I'm interested. I'm so sorry. Go back.
They knew about his appetite for undeveloped gardens with unripened fruit, yet they let him around me. Heard rumors of his attempts to fill cherries, designed with red-stained fingers, but because he served the one who carried the blood-stained banner, there was no belief of his discrepancies. It was impossible in my mother's mind that the one who led so many to the cross only desired to spread my legs and bind my hands together while piercing me, while I laid on my side, and I learned the meaning of 10 passages after that night. 1. I learned that, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, evil can exist in the pulpit, that predators will use God's words to feast on the untouched wombs of little boys and little girls, becoming workers of iniquity, but none of the members can't act like that they didn't know who they were. 2. I learned that vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I will repay, because mothers are often in a trance, too focused on their current circumstance to hear their kids say, Mama, is pastor supposed to touch me this way? Great sermons by great serpents convinces Eve-like mindsets that he's not after her fruit, and most of the time Adam is nowhere around. 3. I learned why Jesus wept. I'm sure he wishes he could come down and allow those of us who've been violated by those who say that they're saved by his grace to touch the hem of his garment and be whole from their broken state. 4. I learned that my latter has to be greater than my former, because this Bible-toting peon is now proudly walking around with the scent of my innocence on his member, and I didn't agree to their worship service, nor did I deserve it. 5. I learned that I was now a willing woman at the age of 10, that my garments should be torn from my skin. Ashes are meant to find residence on my head and face. I am forever unable to be received by a king, no legacy to leave in my place. I am scarred. 6, I learned my name should be Tamar. Because many times he said he was my brother in the faith and a friend to me. Guess that means family will hurt you more than your enemy. 7. I learned why we're told to hate sin, but nobody told me that it would come from him. 8. Whoa. I learned that he is a man trying to be saved by religion, and that's all he got. So just because he wears the robe doesn't mean he cares about the flock. 9. I learned that God is loved completely, so I took off those torn garments and washed my face clean, because what happened doesn't define me. 10. I learned that I was intentionally thought out by the universe and to be etched in history and speaking before you, and that I am beautifully and wonderfully made. I am to pour out my gift on torn souls, wearing garments not meant for them. Take my words over your pain. Let's make a trade. Because see, now I know I can do all things because of the divine being that is my existence. So whatever I decide to do, I must be fearless. If I think it, it will be so. And if I want it, all I have to do is grab it and go. And in the end, Chester McEvans did not win. But it is sad to say he was able to find another with fruit unripened, all because her mama was paying attention, looking for salvation, not realizing that God exists in the souls of our children. Seek your gods, but ladies, please be better keepers of your undeveloped gardens. That's it.
Fire. That was fire.
Listen, I've heard this piece before, and it makes me mad every time. You know it does. It makes me mad every time, because I know so many women and men who have that story of molestation, that story of I said something to adults and nobody listened to me when I screamed, I don't want to go to church, or I don't want to go over Uncle such and such house. And it's sad, because you have people who prey on the innocence of children. Like that is a sickness, that is a demonic spirit. And I thank you for writing that, because I know that takes a lot out of you. And no matter how amazing, it's like watching Billie Holiday sing Strange Fruit. We love that song, but it's painful. It's heart-wrenching to sing, and it takes everything. So to hear people clap at your pain or clap for your trauma, that's a powerful thing. But the more you do that poem, the more you're going to help people. I was interviewing one of my elders in the family who went through that same situation, and the one thing she said is that I'm telling my story is because I want them to know that you can get help. I didn't know that somebody could help me. Speak up. Thank you so much. Anybody else got to add to that? Because I know I went on a tangent. I'm sorry about that.
I'm going to add to what you just said, Irv. Like, one thing about it too, going back to like earlier, just talking about this for us is church, you know, and I'm sure this has happened to you all. And if it didn't, just know that it's a real thing. Like how people will come up to you after a show and be like, you know, when you did that poem, you know, that day I was thinking about committing suicide. But it gave me hope. And I took that, and I'm like, you know, everybody's not going to come up to you and say that, but just knowing that, you know, especially when you have a way with words, and we all know words can either heal or kill. But once you find your purpose, how you handle words, you know, and even your ability to share words, how that saves lives. Like it literally saves lives that you don't even know about, you know.
Yeah.
Another thing too, just like going to like all of the different open mics over the years, and one of the things I've always appreciated was just the diversity. Like even with all of us, we could have the same topic, but we all gonna spit totally different.
Totally different, yes.
But I'm gonna reach somebody,
Yeah.
but somebody, you know, Herb, you gonna reach somebody, Accurate, you gonna reach somebody, but we all have a purpose. And when you are intentional about your purpose and the way we use our words, so many lives are saved by that.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I want to add on to say like X we go back like
we do.
When I was like stupid young out here, you feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think one thing that I always respected about you was that, and it goes like for me as well too, is the fact of like you have made peace with your demons. You feel me? Like that's a huge step in the asset of understanding who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's never ending. You feel me?
Right.
And it just goes to show like one of my favorite poems I've ever heard in my life, by Khalil Gibran. It's called On Pain, and the first line is, "Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding." I think a lot of people, I think a lot of people don't understand that line. You feel me? And you know, for you to be able to express, you know what I'm saying, your personal pain to the masses or whatever, and be comfortable with it, that just shows how strong you are and how much respect you have for yourself.
Yeah.
So keep that up all the time. You feel me?
Yeah.
Accurate, can you repeat that one more time?
Oh, your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding.
Listen,
Listen,
I'm sorry. I'm going to lighten up the mood real quick because I know we can go down. No, you fine. You did exactly what was on your heart to do and on your spirit to do, because like Asia said, all messages aren't for everybody, but you just gave somebody a message that really needed to hear that, and they really needed to be healed, and they really need to have that understanding. So no, I never tell poets what poems to do, because we do what's on our heart. Like we said before, we write for us. If you happen to love it or like it, thank you. But if you don't, we were writing for us in the first place. Like we were trying to stop us from taking the gun and shooting somebody or hurting ourselves today. So, hey, we wrote this piece to get all of that energy out, because here's the thing about it. What if you didn't address that childhood trauma? What if that childhood trauma festered and now it's in your children? Now it's in the walls in your home, but you addressed it, put a nail in it, named it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Name in it.
Yes, and put his name in it. So
that's deep right there. That's super deep.
Yeah, and that's the thing about call these monsters out. I mean, let me tell you what I found out that was true. And this is a hard reality to some. Your superhero could be somebody else's villain. And both things are true.
Heavy. That is heavy.
Both things are true.
Yes, they are.
Your great uncle, who was amazing, can be your cousin's pedophile, your molester.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's two things can be true at the same time.
Yes, sir.
And it's like, and I'm not gonna mention any names or any celebrity names because I'm not that kind of messy of a person, but anybody that you admire can be very hurtful to somebody else. So you always gotta watch that. It's two sides to the coin. But let's get a little light, okay? So I want to know, Daisha, I'm gonna start with you because you've been quiet and fly and posed up with the earrings and the sweater and the Erykah Badu turban that goes on and on and on and on. What do you know about love? Not what you think you know, but what do you know about love?
You know, what do I know about love? That's a good question. I'm in my 30s, and I think that I'm still learning.
Girl, you 19. Stop lying to these people out here. That's that good black that don't crack.
I feel like that I'm in my 30s.
I'm in my 30s.
30
I look like I'm 17 and I can't smoke a cigarette.
15.
I'm in my 30s.
What y'all talking about?
I'm in my 30s.
But the more I think about it, the more I feel like, you know, I'm still learning what it is, what love is. Because it comes in so many different forms and it comes from so many different places. I think that the theme of last year, because of the pandemic and how it kind of challenged a lot of relationships, even friendships, way where, you know, you what does it say? What do they say? Check on your strong friends. You know what I'm saying? So being as, you know, I do have a certain position within the community, and I do a lot of work, and I work with a lot of creatives. And so it was a huge blow and a realization to see how many people actually, you know, they love me for creating this amazing platform and doing all this great stuff, but how many people actually really was worried about me and my children?
Yeah.
You know, so it gave me a new perspective of course, going into 2021, because it's like, I didn't want to have this jaded perception or feel hurt or take it personally. It just reminded me that you have to allow people to love you the way in which they can.
Yes.
And even if that love doesn't look like the way in which you want love to look like, that if you accept that person, you have to accept the way in which they choose to love you.
Absolutely.
And acceptance doesn't mean, you know, enduring and dealing with whatever it is that they, you know, do have to offer. Is you deciding whether what they do have to offer is to your standard, you know.
Is it worth it? And then also not being complicit in somebody's ability to inflict trauma on you because in the name of love. We're not doing that. Hold on before we go any further. Before we go any further, 16 bars, what is your Cash App so I can put it up there? Shout out to Raven too for the Cash App you sent. We really appreciate you. If you Cash App us, we will shout you out. You say what, Rand? What 16?
I'm about to put it up there.
I was putting it in there for you.
He's gonna change your name for you.
Oh, it's my name. It's the $ Rondell Irvin $. That's it.
It's $2 signs?
The $ at the beginning and the $ at the end. And
it's Irvin, IRVING, right?
IRVIN.
I'm just messing with you because you know they always spell my name Irvin with an I, and it makes me mad. Is that correct? Rondell, look in the corner. Is that correct? 16?
I don't even see it, but yeah, I believe you probably.
Everybody's granddaddy. Everybody. Wait a minute.
We got the uncle on the line.
I don't understand.
Where's your glasses?
I'm the 16.
But y'all don't understand it. Look here. I grind 24/7, 365.
There you go.
Damn it! If I forget, I just forget. Period.
Hey, yo, hold on before we move further. Before we move further, if you all love X Blue Rain Poem, I'm sorry about that, X Blue Rain. If you love X Blue Rain Poem, make sure you hit up a Cash App. If you just love what Daisha just talked about, Daisha, I want to ask you something before we move to other people about love. You have a show that's called Word Up. What made you start that show, if you don't mind me asking that? Definitely promote Word Up because it's a dope show. It's a dope show.
It is. It's a quite.
It
was open mic in the city. I stand on that. 6 years in the making. What made me start it, you ask?
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna give you my 2-minute explanation. So basically around the time in which Word Up even popped up, there were a couple other open mics that were more popular that were kind of getting towards the end of their, I guess, reign. And in addition to that, we also had a community outcry of just the need for spaces where we could come together and express ourselves. And so after, you know, just even tapping into a couple different ideas, I was offered an opportunity to be able to host a night where it was really more like a speakeasy or a soapbox. But I ended up tapping into, you know, the lifeblood of St. Louis, which, you know, unbeknownst to a lot of people, is poetry. So poetry actually brings everybody together. There has never been a poetry event that I've been to since then that has not been able to draw not only poets, but comedians, musicians, visual artists, people that are also in the industry, photographers, videographers, PR people, newspapers, you know, magazines. So it's just been really, really dope. But Word Up is definitely definitely my favorite place to be, especially on Tuesday nights, because that's when we go live. We host open mic, and it's more like a showcase because, again, you can find live music, poetry, and comedy.
And where can they find Word Up at?
So we are located in the legendary Legacy Cafe. They have been
shout out to Legacy and Mr. Nick. Shout out to Legacy and Mr. Nick.
Don't forget the chicken.
Hey, yes, we do have drinks, food, and live entertainment. It's a perfect date night. But it's absolutely a magical moment that is made because you get artists that have never hit the mic before, and then you have artists who have been doing this for years. So you get a nice balance of just a nice a level of talent. Also, it's a huge supportive environment. Lots of love being shown. We don't do a lot of heckling. We all about supporting because you just never know who ever is on the mic, where they might be, a month or a year.
Absolutely. But that's something that we do as poets, period. Anytime anybody that's out there listening right now, anytime you come to an open mic where it's poets based and it's poet ran, we embrace everybody from beginners to experts who come on that stage. So never be afraid to speak, never be afraid to open your book, never be afraid to get up and speak and say what's on your heart. Let's go back to the original question. I'm gonna toss it to a young person, Asia LASTARR.
Oh, come on, youngin. Come on, youngin.
I'm young.
What do you know about love, Asia LASTARR?
Oh, I don't know much about love. Man, look, you know what? I mean, you can look at it from so many different angles.
Like, why you sound like a record scratch? He was like, yeah.
Right.
Because you know what? Like, to be honest with you, because even when you say love, it's almost like your mind kind of instantly goes to like intimate love, because even when you think about love, when you think about your family and your friends and your people, I mean, it's just like y'all love me because you're supposed to love me, But when it comes to that unfiltered, just like unapologetic love that you kind of like, you desire, I think it's just a journey. It's a process. Love is complicated but simple. Love is everything. I mean, and I know I think everybody had their different opinions about like, if love is like pain, and even earlier, I think you kind of alluded to, being foolish about love. I mean, because especially when you found yourself in love, I mean,
I become stupid when we in love, baby.
Back in the day, and I'm like, man, you just singing them lyrics, and then all of a sudden you get a little older, and it's just like, hold on. When Betty Wright was talking about don't blame Mr. Charlie,
Miss Charlie's
like,
Whitney Houston, all of them.
Right. It brings meaning to us. So honestly, when I think about love, I think it's just such a process. It evolves. I think it's I don't know. As much as I think I would, want to know about love, I honestly feel like I feel love in service, just being in the community, because it's just real, it's authentic, but as far as just like that intimate raw love, I'm like, man, I can write about it, I can, dream about it, but as far as like, I can honestly say I don't really think I really know much about love.
Understood. What about you, old man? Accurate. What you know about love? You've been living 398 years. What you know about? I gotta play that number. I said 398.
You said it twice.
I don't even gamble, but I'm going to do it. I'm gonna get a pick 3 today.
I'm gonna start it off like this, and I'm gonna say God is love all the time. You feel me? That's a big thing for me. I kind of got to piggyback off what Asia said, because I think a lot of people get stuck in the romantic sense of love, and they don't really like, chime into the fact of like, love starts with self.
True.
You know what I'm saying? To be able to genuinely love yourself and respect yourself, it radiates to how you, and you know what I'm saying, move about, dealing with other people. You know what I'm saying? So even when you talk about the romanticized love or whatnot, like, if you don't have that within yourself automatically, well, not even automatically, but like, as time progresses or whatnot, like, it don't matter if you're quote unquote in love with a person or whatever for 20 years. When that breaking point hits, or when that like really heavy point hits to where like, you haven't seen that person in that type of light, or like, or that darkness or whatever, like, it's scary. You feel me? Like, it's just super scary. Like, somebody told me that, like, to be able to truly love somebody, you gotta see them in all four seasons of their life. You know what I'm saying? You need to see them when they're happy, when they're just straight out down in the dirt, rock bottomish, you know what I'm saying? In the timid phases, and just like, just coasting. Like, you need to see all them phases in order to like truly do that stuff. But at the same time, you gotta see yourself in them phases too.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. This young lady Armani said we sound like the Lauryn Hill album. I swear we do, right?
Nah, it's real. But nah, you gotta. I mean, like, you know, I just think everything, you know what I'm saying, regardless if it's love or whatever, it starts with self. And if you don't have the proper mechanics to take care of yourself and to love yourself correctly and genuinely, then no matter how much emphasis on the word love you put into other people and other things, they more so become a vice than what you expect.
Yeah, so basically you saying, because it's called the mirror image complex. What you see in yourself and what you project in yourself, you often find and see in others. That's why it's a lot of people. Have you ever met a person who don't like somebody who act just like them?
Man, sometimes look like them.
That's called your daughter, X-Brain. You would not put your daughter on blast right now. That's what you're not gonna do.
Sometimes I don't.
What about you? What about you, 16 boys? What do you think? What do you know about love? You happily married and all that other stuff.
And you got that poem. You got that poem.
Anita.
I hope I get like you, man. Bro, that's beautiful.
Look here. Love is, now, the first thing is accurate is 100% right. He's 100% accurate when he says you got
that's pun intended. Come on, boy.
You know,
accurate is accurate.
Like I said, you can't love anything else until you love yourself. And then once you have understood that part about yourself and you love yourself, then you have to be able to love others. Like he said, in every season, you got to you got to be able to put yourself in their shoes. And sometimes you're not going to understand exactly what it is until you put yourself in their shoes and then understand why they made the moves they made. And you got to be able to accept that. Exactly. And if you can't love them through that, then then there's the problem right there. Like, I try to make it a point to, even on Facebook, I'd be like, I don't even know if I told y'all I love y'all ladies, but I'm gonna let y'all know that, because love is something. It's so easy to give, but yet and still, it's a thin line there between hate, because you can love somebody. Like I tell people all the time, if I told you I loved you, I might not like your ass, but I still love you.
And I may not be in love with you, but I still love you.
And that's the difference. That's when people say, I don't love that person no more. Well, guess what? You never did love them in the first place. Love is not something you can turn off like that. Now, you can not like that person. You know what I'm saying? I cannot like you at all, but you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna still love you. The love is there. That's there. If it's real, it's there. That's just how I see it. And I've always been there.
What about you, Blue Rain? I
knew you was gonna make me go last on this.
So actually, it's so random. My thing is switching. I'm just going in order. That's all.
So this is in my 43 years. This is what I've learned about love.
Come on, good 43. That's good black right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's moisturized, and that's coconut butter and oil and shea butter from the back of abandoned Cambodian children. That you
I can't wait to get that old.
Hey, boy said Campbell.
Cambodian children. Okay, but real talk, this is what I've learned. I learned that first I had to understand what hate meant in order to understand love. Hate is literally unfulfilled expectations. Love, on the other hand, is freedom with respect. And a lot of times the reason we do love a disservice, because if God is love, then God is innate, therefore love is innate. God doesn't care about how we feel when it comes to correction, so love doesn't either. God gives respects and boundaries, so love does as well. The romantic love has to do with the chemical composition of the two people that come together. But innately, we do love everyone. But the degree of love determines what I allow you to do within my freedom. Mm-hmm. So if my freedom is within my freedom, you can't piss on my toilet. Yeah. If you piss on my toilet, you can't come in my bathroom. But if you can wash your plate after you eat from my table, that's okay, but you got to piss outside. See, that to me is love. Mm-hmm. Understanding where a person is, not expecting you to be where it is that I need you to be, and wait for the person who can't come into my bathroom and lift the toilet seat, pigs, let it down and flush properly, and wash his hands. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times, and wash his hands, wash your hands. So a lot of times what I learned is, because I've had a few relationships, some of them rather public, and what I learned is my anger came from Let's just be real.
Hey, some of them, brother.
It's in the archive.
Keep going so I can wrap this question up.
But what I had to realize was that I had to take accountability for expecting someone to do something that they couldn't do. Because in order for me to expect that from you, I already know you can't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying, I heard somebody saying, I wish I knew who it was so I can give them credit. But somebody said, love is giving somebody the ability to hurt you and they choose not to.
Wow.
And that right there is key.
Fire.
That right there.
Like they wake up every morning to, I heard that, and I heard a pastor say, he said, love in marriage is two forgiving souls waking up every morning and deciding to forgive each other every day.
Every day. Because here's the thing, we experience little offenses on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
I can love you, but not like the way you chew your gum.
Yeah.
So now I have a choice. Either change your brand so you can chew in a way that I like, or accept the fact that you just got, when you chew gum, I don't need to be around.
Yeah. Yo, check this out. Let me shout out some people real quick. I want to shout out Jen. Jen, I hope you're still on here because I want you to post your podcast. She has a podcast as well. Her name is Jen. She has a podcast. Post your podcast in there so people can check her out as well. She actually interviewed me as well. Make sure you post that. And also, I want to shout out Teresa Anderson for hitting my Cash App. And I also want to shout out, let me say this lady's name. I don't want to miss nobody. I don't want to be that person. Anybody else got their Cash App hit? Please shout them out right now.
Yes. I got a few people I need to shout out. Jennifer Washington, thank you so much. Raven, thank you so much. Carolyn Hudspeth, thank you so much. I hope I said your name right. But
yep.
Go ahead.
Yep. And I just want to make sure that anybody that's sending cash outs, make sure you send it directly to them. We really appreciate it. We're going to re-shout you all out at the end of the show. So if y'all don't get around to it, we definitely going to re-shout them out if they hitting our Cash App. But let's get to the point where everybody tuned in for.
Before you do that, so I think somebody said that 16 bars is not a dollar sign at the end.
Yeah,
16 bars.
Yeah, it's
not a dollar sign at the end. Yes.
You know what? I am not doing. You remind me. Listen.
Hey, listen here. I put it in there anyway myself. So there, it's in there.
So it's Rondell
without the dollar sign on the end. Damn it.
I
just want to say nothing about
you know what? That is not your. Oh God. This is how Cash App addresses work. If it ain't your address, you're not gonna get your mail. If that ain't your Cash App, you're not gonna get your
trust me, I understand how it works because with my line of work, I have to use my Cash App a lot.
So you would think that you know it, old man, Mr. Ervin.
Hey, look here.
I ain't new with this new hippity hoppity to the hip of the hop.
Hey, you heard that?
Yo, this feels a lot like God lyrics right now. I just want you to know.
Hey, something's going on with the Zoom. Y'all hear that?
We probably being tapped because we talking that real shit.
Y'all don't know what's going on with the Zoom? I'm gonna turn it up.
You feel it?
That's for y'all.
That's your uncle. That's your uncle.
And on that note,
they don't got nothing to do with me.
We about to go in this order. We're about to hear Deja Poke spit. Energy. I'm sorry, Energy, aka Energy. We're gonna go Energy, then we gonna go LASTARR, then we gonna go 16 bars. They about to spit that hush. So go on, give them some poetry for Sir Sunday Spit to us. SSS. I still put on the best with an S on my chest. Oh yes, I'm the best. That's how I feel right now.
That's a word up. So again, my name is Energy. That's INNERGY. You can get tickets to Word Up Open Mic at wordupopenmicstl.com or just find it on social media. Definitely get linked to it. I'm working on some new ish. So I'm gonna give y'all this one because it's become one of my favorite pieces, and it doesn't have a title, but I think I got one.
Okay.
Liquid liberation be my language. Conceptually concentrated, cultured conversations. Seriously? Empirically hidden symbols and syllables lyrically. This energy, like medicinal miracle melodies, music. My muses, the movement made in meditation, creating in the making, vibrating, pulsating, gyrating, rotating, aerating. Be patient. the changing, heart racing, then waking, chains breaking, freedom tasting. How long I waited to let loose, lit the lines of light, lighter than lit, bright isn't it? For all to be illuminated, weighted, straightened, the fixed. She is precisely positioned, perfectly poised, particularly positive, persistent perspective, pattern peeping prone, potential progeny, possibly prodigy, practically put, polymath, a paradigm.
Okay.
Nice. And that's their piece.
Oh, that's that piece. Look, I'm waiting for more. You see my, I'm like, come on with the alliteration. Come on with the alliteration now.
Wait, say that.
Can you do those last lines again?
Please again.
Can you do it? Them last lines again?
All right. It goes. She is precisely positioned, perfectly poised, particularly positive, persistent perspective, pattern peeping prone, potential progeny, possibly prodigy, practically put, polymath, a paradigm.
Yes.
If you don't make that a fucking shirt, just say she is with a big ass P and all the words, and have energy at the bottom.
Yes. Write that down, energy. Write that down, because I'll buy it. That's dope.
Because if you don't do it, Ervin will.
I will. I'm telling you right now, it's recorded.
Piece right after Khalil's Twisted Poet piece that's like that. That's hot.
Look, it's recorded, so that means that it is legally binding.
It's your property.
In the state of Missouri.
I didn't sign a media release form.
I'm telling you that I'm going to steal it if you don't do it on camera, so it ain't stealing then. What about you, Angel and Starr? Spit that hot shit.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna steal it, but
let me tell you about Angel and Starr, Accurate in 16 bars. They are actually dope hip hop artists as well. So if you don't know their music, get hip. All right,
man.
Y'all need to collab and do something, but I ain't gonna put that out there. Accurate. Get these old people.
They ain't
get these old people
in
the studio.
I'm talking.
Get these old people.
Hey, we can be like the Fugees. We can be like the new age Fugees. Come on, y'all. Let's make it happen.
All right.
So
I want my 20% on that. Just put that.
All right, Joe Jackson.
What?
All right, Joe. But before there was a Rock What You Got, there was a poem called FAD. It's an acronym, FAD, stands for Fashion Addicts Disorder. And a little background on that poem is like, when I attended Xavier University down in New Orleans over 20 years ago, and they were doing this fashion show, and they basically asked me to create a poem centered around that theme, Fashion Addicts Disorder. So this is from that fashion show, but it's also one of my favorite poems. So I guess I dated myself. I guess this is some decades old. You're my favorite.
Right. Mature.
So so it's called FAD. It goes like this. Trapped within an image I've created for myself. Not understanding who I am, so I look at everyone else. I see who's rocking the newest shoes and I choose to be like them. I'm not even from the East Coast, but I gotta rock them Timbs and represent for a culture that appears to be ever changing. It's difficult to keep up, but yet I'm always rearranging and identifying with the current, what some may see as a trend. But as long as there's room to house me, I'm always trying to fit in. Today, I'm Afrocentric. Tomorrow, I'm just lost. But the day after, I'll have found something, no matter what the cost. Because the media uses images I'm supposed to aspire to. They show me how to wear my hair and they pick my attire too. But if I'm not the average girl in the video, then why is my worth determined by the price of my clothes? And why do I desire to have a famous face? And who said it was about the image anyway? But I be rushing to the store to get the newest outfit. Bum rushing through the mall and all of the outlets, searching for a blouse to house my insecurities. I gotta find a skirt to hide what hurts and cover it with a coat to suppress my hopes and hope that that coat can help me to cope when I'm feeling down and I'm sad and depressed. Or maybe I'll just settle for that $700 dress and compliment that with the best accessories. Give me some jewelry and take the best of me. These fans are affecting me live and directly. They loving my style, but they ain't respecting me. Subjecting me to what's fashionable. I'm not thinking rational because I gotta rep a style that's not only international but expensive. Even if I can't afford it, I'm so fresh and so clean that I gotta sport it. But maybe it's a fashion addict's disorder, and maybe I just need to come to terms with myself. Open up my third eye and help me to see being materialistic is bad for my health. I unravel the layers and I get to the core. I'm cutting up my credit core, resisting the store. I will not allow myself to be a victim no more because it's much more I was put here for. If I support Sean John, baby fat in the lure, then I'm gonna make sure the enemy is still pure because there's nothing wrong with wanting to look the best. But when I put my all in a wardrobe, it only creates stress and makes me feel less than all that I can pose. Instead of embracing who I am, I just live through my clothes and pose for the picture. See, the camera never lies. Instead of addressing I'm an addict, I just try to justify why I gotta bling bling. It's because thirst is nothing but image is everything. So obey the image.
Fuck your stuff. Fire.
Hey, y'all,
my favorite.
The last line about, you know, I gotta bling bling, that tell you the era. Because that was when I was in.
No. What told me the era was
I gotta bling bling.
Sean John.
Don't do the
one thing I gotta give a shout out for ACKURATE, because one thing that's still timeless is them Timbs.
The Timbs. You gotta have the butters. You feel me?
On the East Coast never go out of style.
Gotta have the butters.
Let me tell you what I love about that poem, Asia. You literally take us on a roller coaster ride. You pull a Yolanda Adams on us when you get on stage. You know how Yolanda Adams get on stage and she be like, I'm just gonna sing like this just to mess with y'all. And then 1 minute into the song, she got everybody crying. That's what you do on your poems. It's like a roller coaster. You like, oh, here she come, here she go. And you just take off. I love that. I love that. Keep that. Yes.
But you know what? Like, I just want to say this again. And this is just for us, you know, like when you're writing and it's more like you're doing things for yourself, you know, because even in that piece, it's like, it's not criticizing anybody for wanting to, you know, do this, do that. But it's more like, if you can't look in the mirror beyond all them layers of makeup and, you know, accessories and all that kind of stuff and see, because you could do it, but if you can do it and still love what you see in the mirror, that's perfect. But you don't need those things to be beautiful or to feel important or valuable. And that's the message.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. What about you, 16 boy? Oh, yo, before you go, 16 boy, let me shout out new people that came in the room. We have Shalonda Mitchell, what's upper, Tiffany Relford. If these y'all people, shout them out. Roy Bird, my aunt Teresa Anderson.
My mom's in the building. What's up, moms?
Hey, your mom's in the building. What's your mama name?
What's mama name?
Hi, mama.
Mom's in the building.
Hey, mom.
What's up, mama? Accurate.
My mama won't get on Facebook.
My mama, listen.
My mama been singing on Facebook. I don't know if y'all have seen her. I've shared her. She's the lady who looks like me with the ponytails.
That's hilarious. Let's get into what you got. 16. Spit that hot shit.
Hey, that's my man's, man. Talk your mess, bro.
Talk your shit.
I think ACKURATE should have introduced all of us.
That's my cat. What I want to hit y'all with.
Take your time, baby. Let God use you.
Come on, let the Lord.
I'm gonna hit y'all with a piece that I normally don't. I don't spit unless I'm usually getting paid. Now and then.
You know what you're not gonna do. You know what you're not gonna do, sir. You're not gonna just belittle us regular people.
I'm just saying.
Like
no. What I'm saying is
overtly doing my paid.
First off, I ain't regular. What I'm saying is this.
That was a point. That was a point in time when I had like 13, 14 poems in memory, and I was just on the scene like crazy. Now I'm more family, so it's like I gotta take care of family, so I can't remember. I can't keep all these to memory. Blah 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 blah. But if I'm getting paid,
I'll remember.
It's a job.
I can't.
It's a job.
Do your poem, sir. Do your poem, please.
A lot of people don't hear this piece. Like, you know, you done heard it before, but you know, I don't spit it a lot.
Hold up, everybody get in their listening pose.
The fact we all knew what to do is even funnier.
He's silly. Okay, 9 in for real, y'all.
All right.
I keep it old school. You see, I keep it old school like ghetto bubble baths and that's dishwashing liquor for y'all who don't know. You see, we come from syrup sandwiches and sugar water where the flavor was sometimes red, and hell yeah, I'm a 70s kid, and Saturday mornings were oh so real. We used to sit Indian style in front of the TV with a bowl of cereal watching the bill is only a bill, wasn't tripping off for last night's news and who got killed, because back then TV wasn't filled with sex, lies, and murder. It was simply unheard of. But back then, Mothers nurtured their daughters and fathers told their sons, little man, you can do it, just throw the ball a little bit harder. And dinner time was really dinner time in the 70s because we ate as a family, and he was not there, probably got his butt whooped, stayed out too late to make it home before the street lights came on, but he's still late and he still got a plate. But we all know Papa don't play though. Mama may have and Papa may have. God bless the child that has his own in the world today, because today they keeping it way too new school, running around like, fool, I'll shoot you if you don't like my color blue and leave you leaking red. And all we can go by the next morning is what was said or what was read as we turn the page. But I'm here to tell you I'm turning red with rage because I'm sick of this. Problem is, we're just a little too smart for our own good. We try to take God out the hood and put the camera in the classroom. Meanwhile, our kids have sex in the restrooms and 11-year-old C-sections in emergency rooms, while little Timmy lies lifeless in the very next room for multiple gunshot wounds, all because he decided he didn't want to watch Looney Tunes. He wanted to go outside and experience life now and then. That's that joint.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that line when you say they taking God out of the neighborhood and putting cameras in the classroom.
Taking God out the hood and putting the camera in the classroom.
Yeah, buddy, that's so real, bro. That's so real. Like I remember, I'm gonna tell y'all the story.
High school, bro. I went to my high school. This was some years back with
it's still open.
Guys. Yeah, it's still open. It was Hazel Woody's.
What is it made of?
Yeah, Hazel Woody's, my god sister's her nieces. We were getting them enrolled in school. Dude, it looked like a prison compared to when I went there.
Yeah.
I was like cameras everywhere. I'm like, damn, is this high school or prison?
Yeah, but see, that's that penitentiary pipeline, preschool to pipeline thing. I have a whole form that I do about that. And it's something that as an educator, I take for granted, because as an educator, I assume people know what I know, but people do not. Like they have, do you know there are schools and middle schools? I'm speaking down here right now in Atlanta where I'm at. I'm in St. Louis right now because I'm at my mama's house, but in Atlanta where I live, there are schools literally that there are middle schools that don't have recess, and they wonder why these kids' energy's just bouncing off the wall every day. Like they don't have recess, they don't have home ec, they don't have any of these classes and teaching them trade. Listen, do not get me started on education because we're about to get into
right. We'll be here all night.
If you all love the 3 poems that you all just hit, make sure you hit their Cash App. Everybody Cash App is up on the board. And Tiffany, your wife is in the room, Mr. Ervin. She's putting out your Cash App to make sure that they hit that money so she can get that Coach purse that she wants. Because she's a fashion addict.
Hey, that's love right there.
That's love.
That's love right there.
His Cash App is Rondell Ervin.
Hit Big Daddy's Cash Out. Come on. That's what you're supposed to do, man.
That's
what you're supposed to do. Hey, yo, so I'm going to get into a conversation. This is a little more seriously, because we all know over the past week and a half, they just passed the COVID relief fund. But in that COVID relief fund, they also was supposed to pass the Fight for 15 Act, the $15 an hour act. And we have the Democratic Republic. Some people in the Democratic Party decided that they were not going to pass this bill. So I'm going to ask you all this question. I'm going to go to you, Councilwoman. If this is a question is this a question that we can go into?
Go into.
Okay, so I'm going to start with, if you want to add on to it, then you can add on to it. So I'm going to start with you, Deja. What do you think $15 an hour will do to help move the community forward? And this is not a black-white issue right now, but we all know that Black people are at the bottom economically. We know that. And so it will help us tremendously. But how will $15 affect the community as you see it?
Well, I mean, when you start talking about economics, you have to consider the value of the dollar. So
yeah, absolutely.
Or wanting to envision, a world that gives everyone a livable wage, or even, to a degree, how some states are choosing to even give their residents money every month.
Stipends, yeah.
Right, paying for living expenses. So I feel like at this point, if we're looking to experiment, we need to do it now. If we're looking to see whether it's going to work or to see how it will work in a city like St. Louis, we should do it now. And so to even have that kind of pushback, especially from, I guess, a party which kind of, people condition you to think that just because somebody runs Democrat or defines themselves as Democrat means that they share the same vision and values as, and that's just not true. So, I mean, just jumping into that conversation, I know that being an entrepreneur isn't for everybody. Being a business owner is not for everyone. At least it takes a mindset. And for those who are pushing for and fighting for and working hard to achieve, you know, that end to get that $15, while I would always support someone in their overall vision of having a better quality of life, it is at the end of the day, always going to be on the individual, you know, to make sure that they're doing what they need to do to have their income, you know, and to not depend on a system of people who get to literally decide whether you live or die, because you haven't decided to take, you know, matters into your own hands. So, I mean, that's my personal opinion. I'm not really heavy into that conversation about that wage because I work for myself and I don't have no cap. You know, my cap is my ability.
Yeah, and I think what it is too, and I'm just going to say something before somebody else speak about it. I'm going to say this because when you work with poor and the poor community and disenfranchised children, you understand that the minimum wage hasn't been raised in 12 years.
Right.
But although the minimum wage hasn't been raised, product and produce has, and it's kind of saddens me personally when you see people who are, let's just say, single mothers who are not single by choice. Like they were married and they have a spouse and the spouse passed away and they found themselves, you know, working a 9-to-5 or 3 9-to-5s or trying to get on some kind of assistance. And for you not to be, it's 2021 and people not making $15. And these companies are billion and trillionaire companies. Like what? It doesn't make any sense. What do you think about it, Accurate?
Honestly, like I'm for real, like Deja really hit the nail on the head or whatever. Like, you know, I've been pretty much unemployed, like, you know what I'm saying, like as far as like a blue collar, white collar job, you know, for almost like 4 years now. Like my artist, my everything, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? And I think it definitely, like, you know, it's the fact of like the person who is getting, you know what I'm saying, what is given to them and using it correctly for sure, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like I gotta say, Deja really, like Energy said it. Energy said it. She's really just said it. It's like, you know, if we're gonna try something, let's try it now. Since we have the opportunity to do it, let's just do it now. Figure out, you know what I'm saying, the kinks and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying, as time progresses, we can make it better. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, if it's not presented now to do something, whatever, what is down the road gonna do? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like we got it now. It's in the air. Let's make it. Let's bring it into fruition and let's see what's gonna go on with it. Because the thing is, like, if this is something that wants to be done and elevated, we have to see, you know what I'm saying, the results of what it is now. You know what I'm saying? And if we don't see no results or whatever, we never have a chance to, then like it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of breath. It's the same thing as having an idea and talking about it for years and not doing it. No blue.
And that's the thing about it. They've been talking about it for years. I think we're at the state right now, particularly in the Black community. If you don't have and I said this last week, and I'm going to keep saying it to every mayor, every legislator, every person that's running in this community. If you don't have a Black agenda, I'm not talking to you about anything. I'm not subscribing to the Democratic Party. I'm not subscribing to the Republican Party. I'm not subscribing to the Independent Party. I'm subscribing to the people who have a Black agenda because we are tired of talking about it. My ancestors have died. People have been beaten, killed, and raped across the board, and we're still having the same fight that Dr. Martin Luther King was fighting, Marcus Garvey was fighting, Malcolm X was fighting, Harriet Tubman was fighting. Something needs to give, and it needs to give now. I'm sorry, that's my tangent. What you think, X-Blue-Ray?
I'm going to say this. Okay, my concern with it just being a financial change is that there's not an additional change. There always has to be some aspects of duality. So if you're going to increase the minimum wage, that you should increase the quality of education.
Fact.
You should increase the programs that are even able to assist people, because giving somebody more money gives them the opportunity to do more of what they're currently doing. So it doesn't, if a person is already in a mode, if you have someone who works a 9-to-5 that's an alcoholic, $15 more an hour is not going, with his mindset is going to give him an opportunity to buy more alcohol.
But my thing is this, I want to provide pushback on that. So my thing is this, and I'm playing devil's advocate right now. So when I say I'm doing pushback on people,
we've done this already. We've done this before. Come on.
Yeah. So when you have people who are, let's just face it, okay? $15 an hour is like $7.25 an hour right now in 2021. It really is. And we can't persecute an entire economy of underpaid people. First of all, we the wealthiest country and one of the wealthiest countries in the world on paper. Okay. And I say that on paper because we know where all the resources are being stolen from. We get that.
Right.
But on paper, we are one of the wealthiest countries in the world. So this pandemic has proven to all of us is that we were not prepared to take care of the poor in this country. We never cared about the poor in this country. You understand what I'm saying? So for us to be fighting for not, because 15, let's face it, if you're a mother with 5, 6 kids, $15 an hour ain't nothing.
Bruh, 25 an hour.
And this is just getting your children the basic. We're not talking about people trying to be with the Joneses and buy Jordans, and we're not talking about that finite small group of people who just not going to be financially astute at all. We're just talking about regular everyday people that's trying to survive.
Right.
And who don't, and we have to, because a lot of people say, well, if they don't want to make $15 an hour, go better yourself and do all of that. That's great. But we all came from mothers and fathers who did the best they could with what they had. And they made some bad decisions for all the right reasons. And when I say that, I mean that, I may have stolen this Infamil from the liquor store, but I stole it because my daughter was starving.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's a conundrum. So that was my pushback on that. I'm sorry, Cynthia.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Because here's another thing. The reason being is because $15, like you said, is not enough to better yourself.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are we going to offer? And let me say this, I'm tired of dysfunctional Black programs with good intentions, but not the proper functionality.
Yes. Yeah.
I am so over the top with that. I can't find a damn program that I can volunteer my services as a writer to in the month of April. Nobody has a setup to help these young people better articulate themselves. That pisses me off. But you'll hand out cold sandwiches, cold ham sandwiches, and milk and fruit, which is fine, but you ain't doing nothing.
We know you can't say it, so we gonna say what you can't say.
Right.
We are tired of it. We are tired of these organizations receiving millions of dollars and not helping people.
Stop treating poor people like they're poor here.
Yeah.
Some of the wealthiest people sleep on the street because there is no space for them to exist here.
Yeah.
You can feed a person, that old adage, if you teach a man how to fish, he can live forever. Well, if you give him a pole, he probably already been fishing with his hands, but you won't let him in the pond because of the color of his skin.
Come on.
Like, I am so fed up with that. We talk about money. That's all they want to throw at us is money, because you don't want us to live in our magic. You don't want us to exceed in our spirit. You give a baby a book, he'll become a millionaire. You give him $1 million, he could be broke for the rest of his life.
Facts.
I'm off my. I
get you.
Because I'm frustrated. I want to give my talent and volunteer and give back to the young people. And I have spent the last week looking. Everybody wants something that they can put their name on. I'm looking to put my spirit into these babies, so that way they can make a name for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that answer. What about you, 16 boss?
What about me?
You were born, sir. You were born. What about you? What do you think about this situation?
This whole $15 thing, it's well overdue. First of all, who can survive? You wonder why. Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. Let me just break it all the way down. First of all, we need to get out here, and not just when it's the presidential election. All of these smaller elections are the ones that we need to be at. We need to be listening to, like you said, the people who have our interests. That's who we got to put in there, because y'all looking at the president, whatever. He ain't the one who making the laws. He gets a chance to pass it, or it can be veto, and then go back through Congress or whatever, go through the House, and then they pass it anyway. See, the thing is, we're not looking deep enough. And if you look deep enough, you'll really start to understand it. It's us that are being hurt, because we're at the bottom of the pole. It's us that are being hurt. And all this does is, like she said, creates more hurt. But Blue hit it right on the nose, though. You got to educate. Because if you don't educate, all you're going to do is blow it up. Think about it. Said the Entertainer said this way back in Kings of Comedy. Reparations. All you're going to do is make the Cadillac dealer rich.
And on that note, I want to talk to Asia LASTARR, because you saw, and we're not going to dwell on this issue, but you saw an issue in the community and you decided to exercise your right and exercise your position, and you decided to run for councilwoman. And not only did you run, you won. You won. You won. So I want to ask you specifically, what made you want to go into politics in that manner as an artist?
You know what? What I want to say first is one of my other favorite poems that I used to do, All Y'all Crooked, is talking about politicians coming to our neighborhoods during elections, needing the black vote, but don't offer protection. Yeah. Like that whole poem is talking about everything that we just laid out here is like, the politicians and the people who, like you said, 16, like hold the power, they making all of these decisions for our lives or whatever. And everybody's absolutely right. On a local level, the president and all that, like, no, it's your council people, it's your mayor. Those are the ones that are making, like laws and doing things that are affecting you in your
and they hire the city managers.
Yes. Right. Yeah. But the thing is, let's just keep it real in our community. We don't know that. A lot of people don't even know who they council people. I'll be honest and say I only knew who mine was because I went to school with their kids and they've been in that position for 50,000 years. You know what I mean? So so it's one of those things where a lot of times, especially like in our community, we vote for people because we just recognize the name on the ballot. Right. We do it just because. Democratic. And like I don't know if that was X Blue or Energy that just kind of mentioned about being a Democrat and Republican, or we assume because you Democrat, you black, all of that. No, like all the politics. So as far as what made me decide to run, because I absolutely, I mean, I'm gonna just put it out there. I don't like politics. Mm-hmm. I look at it like it's politics. It does not serve us. It does not serve our. However, what I do realize is we need us on the inside.
Absolutely.
We need us everywhere. We need somebody with the picket signs on the front lines, and we need somebody on the inside helping to write and legislate the laws. We need somebody calling your Congress people. Like we need everybody have a role. Mm-hmm. Even the homie hanging on the street. Everybody have a role. And as far as how I fell into it, it wasn't intentional. It wasn't something I dreamed of all my life. It was a situation where I started learning about trauma. I learned about trauma and how it affects our behaviors and how we show up in this world.
Burke Harris, Dr. Burke Harris.
Alive and well. Say that again.
Dr. Burke Harris, Naomi Burke Harris.
Yeah. And, with Alive and Well, when I started learning about trauma and then going back into my neighborhood, which is Jennings, been here over 30 years, and started, talking about trauma with my neighbors. And what we all kind of like, figured out is like, okay, nobody's gonna come into our neighborhood and tell us what we need and what we want. We're gonna define what are the problems happening here in Jennings. Yeah. What are some solutions we could do? Now let's do them. One thing about me, and I feel like I've always been like this, I don't like a lot of talking. I don't like a lot of like, let's keep on having these meetings. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
I don't want to go to no meeting where every time, we talking about, okay, now this on the agenda. No, what are we doing? Yeah. And just do it. Even if it doesn't work, try something else. But the complaining and that's the thing in our community, we complain so much. Right. But what are we doing? If you look out and you see a lot of trash and you complain all the time, when you gonna start picking that trash up? Right. Yeah. Or because we live in communities where we don't like snitching on each other, so you ain't gonna tell on nobody. So if you ain't gonna tell on nobody, then stop complaining about it and just pick it up yourself. Or when you catch your homeboy throwing that trash, hey homeboy, we don't do that over here. We keeping our block clean over here. And it start with your block, then your street, then your city, then like the whole area, because we got it. Like I grew up in this same neighborhood that you could walk the streets. You knew everybody. Ms. Melba across the street. My mother worked a lot. So all of the elders in the community made sure every kid was accounted for. Mm-hmm. But now we don't know our neighbors, you know, and people in and out. There's not a lot of homeowners anymore. So when you think about value and where you live, it's more like people don't. I mean, honestly, I have never heard as many gunshots in my life as I've heard over the last couple of years and being in this position. But to me, it's like, get into the root of it and then go back to the trauma. We could complain about why things are a problem, but why are we doing it? Why do we not value each other? Why we, you know? So to me, why I decided to run was I'm not about, like, you know, waiting for the next generation or waiting for the next person to step up. I don't know the first thing about politics. I don't like politics. However, I have a lot of experience. You know, I've done it, like, when I was in college, I did a lot of advocacy with Angela Davis and Fred Hampton, like actually worked with them and helped to, you know, free, like, you know, freedom fighters when I was in college. So I'm like, let's transfer that to like now and get on the inside, sit at the table, you know, because we supposed to be at the table. If you talking about me,
I'm at the table.
I'm supposed to be at the table. And guess what? And you're talking about my people. Somebody, a representative, need to be sitting at the table.
And here, check this out. Let me tell you something that ErvinJWilliams saying. I didn't mean to cut you off, Age. I just wanted to put this out here because I know we can be on this for a minute.
True.
I always tell people always tell us to rage against the machine, rage against the machine. No. What Black people need to do is go in the opposite direction and create our own machine. We need to create our own table. Because here's one thing that I know for sure is that our machine can exist without this system at hand. This machine cannot exist without us. And this system is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, and that is to keep Black people as permanent underclass citizens. So we can't get mad at the system for doing what the system is supposed to do.
Right. Let me say this about Asia. She may not say this about herself, but the reason what makes her a great leader is she cares about people.
Absolutely.
She cares about people. She cares about purpose. And
she was doing that before. Let me say this to all your people who watching,
back in the day, listen,
who don't know this. She was doing all of this great civil work before she had the title.
Right.
So for her to have the title and keep doing it is a beautiful thing. So clap it up for Asia.
Yes.
We appreciate that. Because look, I'm actually broadcasting right now from out of Jenny's. My mama lives in Jenny's. She talking about, I voted for your little friend.
But you know what? And you know what? I want to say this too, because it's important that, like, whatever you do, still show up unauthentic, like your authentic self. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because even as a councilwoman, like, that's a title, but I'm like, I'm still the hip hop poet. You know, even when I do my reports, I start off like, I'm gonna do this quotes. You know, and because that's me. Like, you know, at the end of the day, y'all gonna get these lyrics. I think the first meeting I did Rock What You Got.
Look, you like you have to be like Maya Angelou said. What a person think about you isn't any of your business. Exactly. So I'm about to curse you out, and you too.
But while you playing, I do that for real. For real.
I'm glad you said that.
Because you know what? When you really are concerned about the people for real, like, I look at it like the people elected me, so they are who I work for. So when I get on the inside, to me, it's not about what your title is and what. It's about what my area, what they want, what they feel like is the
what
need.
They need.
And what they need. And I'm going to do everything I can to help them out.
And sometimes as a leader, you have to know what the people need when the people don't know what the people need.
Absolutely.
And that's a hard position to be in, because I heard this. I was sitting watching, I know his name is mirrored now, but I was sitting watching Bill Cosby. He came to Harrison State University back in the day. And he said, I don't know the key to success, but I know the key to failure is trying to please everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I was saying, you cannot please everybody. And I'm glad you said that, because it's going to be the final question. Then we're going to go on the round robin. Then we're going to go break it down into what people can find you. How can they get your books, your music, your t-shirts that ACKURATE still haven't gave me. I lost all this weight. I'm a large ACKURATE. I need my t-shirt. And you know, we're going to go into everything that you all do. But the last question, the final question I want to ask you all, and everybody that's tuning in right now, don't leave, because we're going to do another. All poets are going to spit again. And let me shout out some people too. Yolanda's in the room. Michael Corns is in the room. Auntie, you've been hanging with us all day. We appreciate you. Roy been hanging with us all day. We appreciate you. Elaine Sutton, make sure she's another person who's an amazing person in the community that has an amazing podcast. Make sure you reach out to these guests, Elaine Sutton, because all of them are doing major things right here in our community. And our poetry community is like the best hidden gem in St. Louis. Not only are they artists, they're intelligent, they're intellectuals, they're civil leaders, they're in the community. Like, let me tell you what I love about everybody on here before we go into this last question. I love that everybody on this Zoom right now actually working within the community, helping children, the elderly, feeding the unhoused, giving people safe spaces and safe havens to do their art. And, you know, we actually do what we say we're doing. That's why I wanted to share this platform with some amazing people. I think you all are amazing. I think you are deserving of all the things that's good. So other people need to see you. And I know people that's tuning in who don't necessarily know about the poetry community or don't necessarily know our faces. You need to support these people. These are people who are actually working within the community. So with that being said, the last question, strip away your titles, strip away your accolades, strip away everything. If I was to ask you the question, who are you? What would you tell me? If I asked you the question, who are you? We're going to start with X Blue Rain. She's like, well, I mean, you know, I called you. I'm a teacher. You had that blank stare on your face. Like, oh, Lord, please don't let them call me. Got you.
I was in the back of the class with my head down.
You start leaning back like this.
Okay, but in all seriousness, when someone asks me, who am I am the yes to my bloodline. I am the yes to my bloodline.
That's hard.
Because in my bloodline, for the last 4 generations, there was always a question of, is it possible that a man could ever love me? Yes. For the last 4 generations, is it possible that our children can flourish? Yes. Is it possible that as a Black woman, I can do any and everything that I want to do and be successful? Yes. And are we fine as fuck? Yes.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
Love it. Love it. What about you, Accurate? Let me tell you before you go, Accurate. Accurate is the reason that I cannot spell accurate accurately, because every time I spell accurate, I add a K in there. And I go, that's not how you spell accurate. That's phonetics.
No, that's how you spell it. We're going to put that in the dictionary in like next year. You feel me?
Okay, that's what's
We
up.
should start our own dictionary.
Webster, and they're going to put a picture of me in the dictionary.
Hey.
That's what it's going to do.
Because that's accurate.
Feel me? Facts. All right, the question, I always tell people, I'm just a simple dude with complex views on life that wants to help and create a safe space for people to live in and understand that they are meant to be loved and they have a purpose.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey,
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. What about you, Miss Energy? Why do I do that every time I say your name? Every time I see her, I'm sleeping with the enemy. This love is taking all of my energy. That's Carrie Hilson.
Okay.
I guess my spiritual side wants to say that I am a multifaceted, multi-dimensional crystal light body being.
Okay.
I'm having a human experience. I am just dealing the cards that I was dealt, and doing what it is that we do as human beings. We adapt, we adjust, we grow, we learn, we evolve, we ascend. So outside of everything else that I have been labeled, or what people know me as, or even what titles I give myself, above all else, at the end of the day,
Yes, that's beautiful. What about you, 16? Because I saw you do the head.
And if you strip everything away, which you don't even have to, because I've learned to humble myself a long, God humbled me a long time ago. Let me put it that way. So therefore, I understand who I am. And my purpose is to love and spread love. Help those who are in need any way that I can, if I can. You understand what I'm saying? It falls back to the success. I'm not gonna feel successful if I can't help others.
Absolutely.
What good is your success? You sitting on top of the world, but everybody below you is struggling. You know what I'm saying? That's not success. So, purpose in life. I can look at myself in the mirror and be perfectly fine with what I see. And I'm so blessed to be at that point in my life. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I've lived the streets. It's like, Like I tell like you young poets, when I came into the game, they tell you I was the cat who came in, earrings, iced out, long chain, braces, the whole nine. I was straight hip hop when I came to the scene. I was hip hop, bling bling hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I was still, you know, 1 foot in the street, 1 foot in the poetry scene, and you know, it just evolved. I've just grown, and to see the image that I see in the mirror, I'm happy now. You understand what I'm saying? It was a time that I ain't gonna say, I don't want to say I didn't like myself, but I didn't like some of the things that I was doing.
Yeah,
you know,
come to peace with them.
I had to come to peace with that, look at my demons and say, you know what, this is what it is. It's time to move forward. Right. So then you got to be able to look at yourself in the mirror. If you can look at yourself in the mirror and accept what you see and be happy with what you see, then hey, there you have it. And that's
a beautiful answer. Thank you for that. What about you, Miss Asia LASTARR? Cause baby, I'm a star. Woo, woo.
Yeah, my mama knew something.
Now. That's Prince right there.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna just start out by saying, you know, I am just a soul whose intentions are good. Yes. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
Yes.
And honestly, I'm a really keep it simple. I feel like who I am a servant leader. That's it.
That's it. That's it. I tell people all the time, like, one thing I know I am is that I am a child of God.
Yep.
And I know that no matter what you say or do, that I am protected. And all things that happen to me is because God gave it permission to happen. My grandma used to say, in this world, the world is a tunnel. And in this world, you're about to enter that dark tunnel. You're in the middle of that dark tunnel, or you're about to come out to the light of that dark tunnel. But my caveat on that is that once I realized that I was the light, no matter what part of that tunnel I'm in, I'm okay. So that's who I am. I am the light in all situations.
You better say
that.
You hear me?
That's real.
Real talk. So with that being said, we about to do this round robin up in here, round robin up in here. So I'm going to go exactly backwards, because I love when poets think like, oh man, he made me go first. You know how poets be. They be trying to make me go first because ain't really nobody here and they just don't want to hear. Nah, bruh. So now we're going backwards. We're going to go 16 bars. Then we're going to go Asia LASTARR. Then we're going to go we're going to go Energy. Then we're going to go X Blue Rain. And then we're going to wrap it up with Accurate. All right. And then, we're going to go Accurate. Then we're going to wrap it up with me, because I always do a poem at the end. But you all can explain this poem. You can do the poem. I just let you know what order you're going in. All right. So Grandpa Pigeon over there with you. See, you're so cool. You like, hurry up, I got my mash about to come on over there. My mama's family on the tube over there.
This is that Sunday driver. But anyway. Lord. Yeah, I keep it 100.
Big facts.
Okay, this piece right here is I guess some people call it a signature piece. Oh, let me say this one thing. For all you poets who say y'all return the piece,
no, you're not.
I hate that. I straight hate that. I'm returning this piece. Oh, you that motherfucking special, huh? Nope. You know, that's just how I feel about it. I'm sorry, but you know, I had to say that. You know what I'm saying? Because I asked Maya when she came to UMSL. You know what I'm saying? Did you ever retire a piece? She looked at me like I was crazy, and I was like, exactly. But
he probably gave you that voice, sir.
I would never. Everyone, she basically said there's always somebody who needs to hear what you got to say. Period. No matter when you voted. So what gives you the right to you know what I'm saying? What gives you the right to say I'm not going to say that piece anymore? I can understand if it's one of those pieces where it's very hurtful to you, but at the same time, somebody you might save somebody's life with that same piece that was hurtful to you. But anyway, deliverance. Deliverance, yes. 25 to life, one do pain.
Before you start 16, scoot into your microphone a little bit, because you're going in and out. I want them to hear every word of this poem because it's a dope piece.
Yes.
Okay, let's slide forward. Can you hear me now? I'm gonna get louder anyway. How about now? Good. I'm a fool. I'm from a place in time. I'm from a place in time in which they run full court pressure like the one who used to wear the 2-3. You see, others will hit you with the 4-5 and leave you 6 feet deep. 7 up because you ate 9 in your chest. Now the doctor's got a 10 of that. You see, it's the 11th round, 12th hour, Friday the 13th, an unfortunate 14 caught up before 15 by an AR-15, and there will be no sweet 16. Hospitals, emergency rooms, ER rated, no one admitted under 17. You either enlist to go to college at 18. Those that stay home at 19 trying to achieve street dreams without listening to any only realize by the time that they are 20 that life has just begun and life expectancy for some was only 21. But be careful. Be careful. You can get knocked out your shoes for your 22s. They out there thugging and riding and the lose simulate emotions of life like they playing Nintendo Wii. So by the time you're 23, they got you shackled hands and feet walking through courtroom doors at 24, facing a 25 to life. But as I look out my window, I realize the world is a ghetto where the sounds of rock and rolls, heavy metal, spray paint our blocks like graffiti paint. We're living in a world where there are no winners, just more sinners than saints. Same world where a big bank takes little bank, to put it simple and frank. The rich get rich while the poor get ignored, caught in the crosshairs. A life with no relief in sight, trapped in the belly of the beast, and they call it the appetite. Appetite for what? Appetite for destruction. Too much black on black crime. No more we shall overcome because we are too dumb to see that we actually do need each other. So am I my brother's keeper? I simply don't know, because I'm from where they don't do it for the love. And if push comes to shove, then it's blue steel and black glove. Like, nigga, what? What would you do if the lights off, the wrench doing, the truth is starting to cut like Ginsu and it's starting to fuck with your mental? You don't work, you don't eat, you don't sleep. That's simple reality. No need to get mad at me. You got to get up, get out, and get something. Can spend all your time trying to get by. But stay on your goody mob, and that's money over busters. But be careful who you trust, bro, because they trust others, and be wary of your circle, because some of them are squares. And there's no mean from the other than to block your shine. So stay on your grind, because I'm from where they say hard work pays off, but we all know in the judicial system, you get less time if you get caught serving software. Everybody wants to play the boss, but nobody wants to pay the cost. Same place where there's too many chiefs and not quite enough Indians. You see, where the jealous and the envious is snatch your tennis, and they ain't gotta be Jays. I'm from where the hammer spray like wildfire, and gangsters don't retire when killers are for hire, yet they all dying over fool's gold. But good lawyers find loopholes, and frauds get exposed through the wide angle lens. You didn't think they knew, but they know. You can trade your dimes or info just to avoid the pen, but ain't no loyalty or honor amongst them. See, it's an eye for an eye, every one for self, inflicted in the womb, born into death, where hope is placed on the shelf to collect dust. And God we trust, and God I trust, and God they trust. They can just make it through the night to see the lights of a brighter day, where dreams aren't replaced by smoke and mirrors, and death gets nearer the closer you get to the corner, living on life's edge, where that blade is two-sided and the world is divided by the power of money. Those who want it and those who got it, you got to go hard to go home with an empty stomach, because don't nobody want to hear your problems when they got their own. All around the world, the same song. Ain't no digital underground though, but for digits they'll put you underground, lost and never to be found. Jimmy style, the jokers are wild with no means of being tame, and they say the lack of opportunities to blame. Is that why our kids take aim, dancing in the devil's flames? But this is what I see when I look through my window pane.
Yeah, you know we love that piece, man. We love that piece.
Man, that's one of my favorites, though. For real.
Yeah, we love it. It's one of ours.
We love it too.
What about you, X Blue Rain? What you got to go?
Wait. 16. Hey, bro, I'm just want to say this real quick, because I gotta give you your flowers, bro. Like you was probably one of the first male poets of me coming out here, and I think you already know this, that I had so much respect for, and then I like looked up to, you feel me? So like, for you to still be able to do your thing now, you know what I'm saying? For me seeing you when I was a young rookie out here to where I'm at now, like you was definitely a mentor of mine, bro. So I just appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, that's what's up. Look at that.
Most stuff, you know the feelings mutual 100. You know,
that's why y'all got to do this album and stop playing. Give us this song.
I mean, Agno only got Agno ain't nothing but a phone call away. He already know this. It ain't that.
I mean, but you know, you the one over there saying that you only do poems that you get paid for. I mean,
no. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I don't dig deep into that crate anymore like I would normally do. Like,
yeah.
It was a time where, like 2012 to 2010, 20 to like 2015, where I was on the road. I was booked like I was.
We got it. Week 16. We have it. We just we get it. Look, but hold on, we got to get this round robin in, y'all. So now it's RAYNE time. That's beautiful. Thank you for that, Accurate, because all of us feel that way about 16
I thought you said we was going in order. You just making up the order.
I didn't. You went. Didn't you go? Oh no. It was Deja. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Asia, then Energy.
Asia, then it's Asia, then Energy.
She's a councilwoman now. It's Asia.
It's Asia.
She only shops at Torche.
No, she shops at Jacques Finet. That's JC Penney. For all of you who don't know.
I gotta go. I'm finna leave. I'm playing.
Jacques Finet. All right, let's go, Asia. What you got?
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna do all y'all cricket just because I want to.
No. I don't want you to be on the news tomorrow. No, do it. I want you to do it.
We got your
disclaimer.
I just don't want you out to explain that on the news tomorrow.
Hey, you know what? I'm ready. I'm ready for that interview. I'm ready.
Okay.
You know, maybe it'll cause some people to step up. You know.
Okay.
So all y'all cricket. They say we need to be more involved in politics, but politics is what kicks us when we already down. Clowns and politicians are clowns, serving with no compassion to break us down and keep us there and feed us lies, pretend to represent us, but why do they disguise? And compromise character to advance in their careers, condemning the average people while ignoring their tears. But all y'all crooked, so who could we trust? I consider our government and I'm filled with disgust. We supposed to be just, but we just do what pleases self and not what we must. So who is for us when us ain't enough? Because we was promised freedom, liberty, and justice. And still we wait for liberation to heal the scars of slavery that history reveals. So how could we be loyal to a country that kills, rape and incarcerate us, hate and associate us with being anything less than all that we are, confining us to complacency while we losing this war? Coming to our neighborhoods during elections, needing a black vote but don't offer protection, securing their positions, maintaining their laws, institutionalizing us for all of their flaws, sporting nice cars and we be riding the bus, taking off on business trips while you be kicking up dust, blasting out to the moon, exploring outer space, but neglecting the poverty that exists in our face. So look in our face and tell me that race has nothing to do with why you want to replace us. Eliminate your problem by building more prisons, tearing down your schools while you're taking back what you've given. For all y'all crooked. So where is our hope? I hope not by that tree that hangs that rope that has killed my people. Because we still hang from that same tree. But instead of physical, it's mental slavery. So who will emancipate us and proclaim us free? Give us reparations and an apology. Equal opportunity so we too can thrive. Because the system only give us a reason to strive to survive. But all y'all crooked and all y'all lie and all of y'all hide behind those masks, ignoring y'all tasks of serving us all, watering us down until we all dissolve. All y'all crooked, except for me. I added that at the end, except for me.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put that order in for those 3 Angel LaStarr t-shirts.
What'd you say now?
3 Angel LaStarr t-shirts.
3 Angel LaStarr shirts.
Yeah.
We get them shirts ready. 3 Angel LaStarr.
What line make me want to fight you every time is when you say they incarcerating us because of their mistakes.
Hey,
listen,
real talk.
Real.
That's a real line. You hear me? And I'll be listening.
Hey, that's Thousand Island.
You hear me?
Keep it 1,000 Island.
Keep it funky.
Hey,
Thank you, Councilwoman Asia LaStarr.
Hey, but you know what?
Anybody else saying that, you know I said it first. Keep it 1,000 Island.
Keep it 1,000. But hey, we already, like, y'all know what we do with words. That's what we doing anyway. So it doesn't matter what platform we on, where we at.
Right.
We've been doing this. Like, you know, the real revolutionaries are the poets.
Say that again.
The real revolutionaries are
First of all, Asia LASTARR, put that on the shirt, because if you don't, I'm going to steal it.
I'm just
writing
saying,
it down
I'm
as
just
we
saying.
speak.
So it don't matter the platform, you know. It is.
Thank you for that. We appreciate it. All right, come on, Miss Energy.
Hey, no, definitely, Aja. Poets have, man, poets really are the poor righteous teachers. You know what I mean?
True.
Definitely, have a responsibility to the community. Again, I really want to just say thank you, you know, for letting me be on this platform. Word up for all your open mic needs. We in here Tuesday nights. Man, originally I wanted to spit my "Fuck You, Pay Me" poem, just in honor of 16 bars, because he just had me weak with that. But, you know, after hearing Aja just spit that hot fire, you know, talking about the corruption, it's got me thinking about this piece that I wrote called A Tough Pill to Swallow. And when you look up and you realize that, you know, we are in this position, even with the minimum wage, the condition of, you know, just society. Do we have communities? Do we just have neighborhoods? There is no community. Where's the value? Where's the vision? You know, who gets to define even what Blackness is? We have so much to unpack and so many levels to deal with. But at the end of the day, some of these things are like harsh realities. They're hard truths, and you just have to sometimes accept them in order to move forward and work your plan. So this piece is called A Tough Pill to Swallow.
Okay.
I learned at a young age to smile over the pain of ridicule, lies, rejection, just to name a few. I realized I lived in a world that valued things rather than human beings. It was a tough pill to swallow, though hollow be the mind resigned to a fate unwanted. Daunted by the task of breaking through the glass mirror that traps you, called the rabbit hole, but it's the ego. Yep, the ego. That's the evil at its roots. Saying you're in it for wealth, but you're only in it for selfish desires, for all these blueprints of planned obsolescence. Says that you're the meaning of life itself. About your health. Me, focused now more than ever, balanced on a tightrope between dreams and reality. Falling is a fatality, no doubt in me. Winner's mindset mentality. I learned at a young age to open my eyes to really see this world in the way that man made it to be. I realized I live in a world that valued money rather than human beings. A tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And that's real. Listen, Dave, that's so real. Like people, like, I don't understand humanity. I have a boy who has this theory. And the theory is that humans don't match anything on this earth, that we are the aliens we're searching for. And it brings me back to this this old Batman quote that the Joker said. And the Joker said, we stopped being afraid of the monster under the bed when we realize we are the monster. And that explains humanity in its depth right there. That's a good piece.
I mean, I ain't gonna even, we had to have this discussion later.
Yeah, that's an after.
If you don't know that, if you don't,
I need to roll on that.
Understand that we are the aliens. If you don't know and understand that we are the aliens, you have already lost this race. Because if you think we evolved from monkeys, you are definitely tripping. Because if we evolved from monkeys, why
we still have monkeys? But let's not go there. Let's go there.
Or better yet, at least one or two of them motherfuckers be talking by now. You know what I'm saying?
Or they looking at you like, one day I really hope to be a human.
I'm just saying, but that's a whole nother story.
All right. Who was next? Come on, Blue Rain. Great piece, Asia. Great piece. Right. Hold up. Everybody that's still here and that's with us, we continue that you're rocking us. Make sure you all hitting these cash apps. These poets are putting their souls out here. Make sure you hitting these cash apps.
Who else and what?
We gonna hit them up at the end. Don't get me wrong. We gonna hit them up at the end. 16. Let's go, Blue Rain.
All
right. So every poet got a black piece, right?
Yeah.
So this is my black piece.
Okay. Well, all your pieces technically black, because you never mind.
Technically, yes, but this is definitely black is in this piece over 10 times. So I was told if it's over 10 times, it's a black piece.
I got you.
All right. Black is not Africa. Black is not Earth. Black is the whole fucking universe. Black is hands up, black is hands down. Black is you can still get shot by lying on the ground. Black is void. Black is deep. Black is that thing that you can't see, but you know it be. Black is limitless. Black is in the field and in the city. We still blessed. Black is who got the most lace on that Easter dress. Black is always ready to impress. Black is excellence. Black is no matter what, I'm gonna make it through this mess. Black is spiritual awakening. Black is peach cobbler and sweet potato baking. Black is a Code 45 in Newport shorts in a box. Black is super fly and you sly fox. Black is a bad mama jamma, just as fine as she can be. Black is nappy hair, taking care of Mrs. Badass children while bathing Miss Shook Avery. Black is Sophia's fist, knocking Mayor's ass off his feet. Black is till you do right by me. Black is being proud even if it's my last day to breathe. Black is knowing that Black is not knowing if I'm going to survive if I get stopped by the police. Black is please don't cry for me. Black is please don't kill me. I didn't resist, hear my plea. Black is brown. Black is brown. Black is 4 hours and 4 minutes on the ground. Black is 12 years old playing in the park on the swings. Black is poetry written about Tamir Rice so no one forgets he was a child doing child things. Black is black on black crime. Black is nigga disrespecting me, so I got to gift wrap him in these white sheets. Black is I ain't got no credit, but don't fuck with my cred in these streets. Black is forgotten royalty. Black is displaced loyalty. Black is we can get it right. Oh, yes, we can. Black is the most beautiful color known, which is why it's desired by the white man. Black is me. Black is you. Black is what them others wish they could do. Black is solution, no excuse. Black is fruit pies with the juice. Black is sweet hips and thick thighs. Black is locks, curls, fades, and lace fronts with sexy lips and eyes. Black is I tell no lies. Black is a six-pack or a cake. Black is that third leg. Black is that third leg. Black is what the fuck I just said.
Yeah. Let me tell you that black is Tamir Rice, and remember he's a child. That black is brown. 4 hours and 4 minutes on the ground. Listen, I ain't got time for y'all today. I don't have time for y'all today. I don't. Y'all not gonna be having me up writing all night. Y'all not doing it.
Hey, I missed them writing lab, by the way.
You hear me? I just taught a writing lab at Blackburn College like 3 weeks ago.
Oh no, not them. I'm talking the ones at Dana House.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying. With the with
Sir Ervin writing the whole damn book in a minute and a half.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about it was like Ervin was like
we got like 4 or 5 lines. Ervin over here. Okay.
He got 2 pages.
What's that? Oh, it's a play. It's a play. Yeah. It's a play.
Matter of fact, I did a poem.
Accurate. We don't have to listen to this. They're taking up your time, sir.
I'm sorry.
It's accurate.
We'll talk shit in the after set.
Great piece.
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
All right, Accurate, is your turn.
I am doing this for 16. That's my man's because it's by bars now. I gotta do.
All right, make sure you spit up some too so we can hear you.
I got you. Look, I say I'm screaming, welcome to the canvas. I be tracking the conversation while scripting within my transit. Look, this guy flow. Rhythm and poetry potency. Proficiently push my pen as I'm penning feelings. They notice me. These rappers get to talking now. You better take precaution because you dealing with a marksman. I touch a spirit, that's Ouija walking. When this that wordplay, Wimbledon syllable, sorcery, sickening. I serve a shot that I'm at your neck for these dividends. Look, I master myself as I master this mic. The mastery level king, if you talking insight. This intelligent animosity I stress with the right. Man, y'all better come correct. I like to flex when I write. See, this that starving artist arson. Marching straight for this margarine audio author when I bless the culture with this offering. Man, look, when they told me murder what she wrote. I'm too clever with this lettering dress in the envelope. So this that syllable cyanide from the Amistad. The ill-advised flows get petrified from this barrage. It's ballistic vision encrypted within my sentence. That's conviction. I can spit a verse and leave incisions. Split decision. See this legacy lingering in the distance. I'm on a mission with this weapon I'm holding inside my prison, man. This soul caliber. I'm cracking a combo with your character. Be careful of this character. Know your stats and them character flaws. You know the cause when his weapon is drawn. I be etching, sketching segments of a sector in songs. The message forged in the fire. I bear this heavenly arm. But see, ever since my granny died, I lost my sanity, y'all. But trust me, I promise you that I'm back with this perseverance. Hey, mommy dearest, this that soul you was gearing. I'm on this road to perdition. I save a soul. I give a life some extension. Man, I'm just polishing my purpose. That's a glorious mission, man. This the knowledge of the melodic prophet mixed with a tyrant that Emily Rose exorcism, demented wisdom strapped to a bed with the demons that whisper all of my wishes with GLC and emotion to pray, screaming out ism. See, my vision is similar to Dr. King with a dream, but I've been walking on Elm Street with nightmares that so seem. So it seems the situation is only my silver lining. So I put my life on the line and I get the rhyming. What's up?
Listen, I'm not doing this with you today. I'm not accurate.
This situation is only my silver lining.
Right.
Listen, I will punch you in your face, boy. I will punch you in public, in front of people. I will fight you. I will fight you. Yes, yes. You said, oh, I was trying to think of the line you said that made me almost go, I'm going to jump out of my bones on this boy.
When he said Dr. King, this has been like Dr. King in his dream, but I've been walking down Elm Street.
Yeah.
How old are you when you know what Elm Street is?
Oh, polishing my purpose, because that is a given. Listen.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Listen, little boy, what you not gonna do today?
Young man.
That's when you start talking to people. I am about to talk at you. What you not gonna do today is have me up here about to jump out my bones. I love.
Bro, I rolled my chair back. Wait a minute, Stephanie. Wait, hold on. I rolled my chair back on that.
I love it. I love all of you all for what you do, how you do it. I love that you all are authentically you and different. The piece that I'm going to do today, I was going to do something else, but this is on my mind because somebody talked about earlier about checking in on your strong friends. Right. And I have a poem that's in my book that's going to be coming out called Strong Friend. And this is that poem. I've never read this in public. So y'all this is the first time it's being read. This is exclusive. I'm going to try to do it without tears, but if a tear drop, I'm going to make it through.
We got you.
Because I know it's on somebody's heart.
Do that.
Somebody needs to hear it. All right?
Okay.
Strong friend. You're sitting there, wrapped in a bowl of your own misery, praying to God to just take you, bring you home. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. Your mouth can't even form the words anymore. You're different. You get tired of fighting about who you are, defending who you are for people who don't know who you are, and becoming who you are. You are different. The words form around your lips, seeping into your stained mirrors. You are different, and not always in the good way. Everybody's not always going to feel you. Everybody's not always going to love you. Nigga, you are different. And life's not going to get any easier for a nigga like you. Your mind will never stop controlling your silence. So you sit in silence to silence your silence. You realize that crystal stairs are flawed and full of compressed dirt and dreams and splinters in the corners that cut. Every reality is a dramatic illusion to yourself. So you sit here in your ball of misery, asking God to take you from it. Maybe if the lines in my wrist could do it, or cut myself, bleed out on all of them. Maybe this time they will offer help without me screaming at the top of my lung and without you screaming out of your integrity. What's wrong with me? Everything. They would never know the many times I've accidentally taken those sleeping pills on purpose, sleeping into the middle of the day on purpose, not telling my friends that depression has held me captive, wondering about darkness. What is light? What is love? How can they love you like this? Take me now, God. I demand you. I'm tired of worshiping you. You're not listening. When I tell you that this boulder is too heavy, take it. This boulder is too heavy. Hold it. Hold it just for a little while. Please. This burden is too heavy. No matter how I carry it, my tears are constantly answered in another's problem, and another person taking advantage of my tender, of my kindness, and another lesson unlearned, and another parable on how I should be grateful that you blessed me with so many gifts. I feel ungrateful, but I'm not. I feel foolish, and I am human, and I get sick and tired, and I get sick and tired, and I get sick and tired on waiting on you to be God. when you stated I have the same breath as you. So what makes me different? Were your burdens as heavy as mine when you were 30? Did your sister inhale her innocence through a crack pipe? Did your brother admit his illiteracy to you? Did your voice tremble at the thought of being imperfect? Maybe I shouldn't be writing this. And maybe I'm mocking God. And maybe I'm just tired of fighting and pushing a rock up a faint and undying hill. So please, God, forgive me if this seems like blasphemy. That's not my intentions. Or maybe I'm just sick and tired of praying to God. Or maybe I'm just sick and tired of praying to a God who only answers those who are not worthy. Maybe I'm worthy, but I know I am not. Strong friend.
Well, I almost threw my mask across the room and at the screen.
Yo, like,
when does the book come out?
It's coming out by May.
Hey, what was the silence line you said? That was so fire.
I'll wait for you.
Man, Ervin, I'm gonna tell you something. You are one of my favorite writers.
Oh, thanks.
Yes. Not just because you know how you make words sound like music to me. So everything that you spit in your voice. I love that. I love poets who have the ability to sound like themselves. Like there's nobody that can get on stage and sound like you.
Right.
Thanks for that, Blue. That's beautiful. I love that. Thank you.
Man, so I appreciate that. And my kids still talk about you. So
I want to say something too. Like that piece that you did, it kind of reminds me of a piece that I got called Alone in a Crowded Room. And the reason why it's so impactful is because, especially as artists and as creatives, a lot of times we are the ones that, you know, people rely on. You know, they expect us to always be strong. But then when you, like, I done left many open mics and come home and I'm by myself. So I've helped lift you up with my words, but my own words didn't help me.
Come on. Hey,
you know, so I think that like it's so important to put that out there, because people look at you and they see you come out and they see you always smiling and always vibrant and doing everything in the community and all of that, but they don't know that you battle your own self and your own thought. The same mind that can tell you go out here and be great is the same mind that be like, you ain't nothing. You never accomplish anything. People don't like you. You know, whatever it tells you that makes you feel inadequate. It's the same mind. You know,
that's that. So, yeah, that's that. I have a poem called My Shadow. How I used to be afraid of it, because if I had been successful in my attempts, I wouldn't be here. I would have been gone by 12 years ago. So to say what I just pick up on, I was just saying, that other voice that be talking to you, that comes from your traumas, that comes from your parents, that comes from all those things that have been spoken over your life. Boy, that mug's a bitch to deal with. But most people don't have the strength to deal with their own, so you can't give them yours.
Oh, most definitely. Let me tell you something about Sir Ervin. Like,
I don't even know what you're about to say, but I'm laughing.
I know. I've never said this to anybody or told anybody about this. Now, the first time I remember, the very first time I seen you spit. The very first time I met you. Do you know what it was?
Wasn't it at the cafe across the street from Harrison?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was when it was Lightning, Thunder and Lightning were doing.
Thunder and Lightning. Shout out to Thunder and Lightning.
And they had their show, and Ervin came in, right? I'm like, who's this arrogant little motherfucker right here? Then the boy he spit, and then he spit. I say, this a motherfucker cold. And then it was like, fam from there, and like when we mentioned legacy, I need to say something about legacy, like, and again, shout out to Mr. Nix, because
shout out,
yeah, man, 20 plus years of, you know what I'm saying, the love, right? But Sal Williams done step into legacy. You feel what I'm saying?
Sonny Patterson, Jessica Caramore, on the list.
Fred Hampton Jr.
Yes.
You understand? Legacy is a legacy. Real talk. Shout out to him. I just had to say that, but let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going. Thank you all for that. That piece has never been done. And what's crazy about that, when I wrote that piece, I'm just going to say it so everybody understand. When I wrote that piece, it was not necessarily personal to me. And one of my friends told me this. I'm not going to mention her name, but when I read it to her, she said, because I was not going to put that piece in my book. It was going to be a piece that was for me. And what my friend said is that even though you may not have experienced these things and you may not have suicidal tendencies, but people, like, I am a bearer of everybody's secrets, and people, I am a safe space for some people. And what happens is I get a great deal of information. People know I would never expose their information, their circumstance, because I've never been that type of person. But it manifests through my art. You understand what I'm saying? And what happened is that it wasn't personal for me. The suicide attempts was never personal for me, but other stuff in that poem, and here's the thing about it, y'all. I wrote that poem in 2016. I just found it a month ago.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Never. And when I read, I say, what the hell is this? And where was I?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, so before we leave, we want to thank Real STL News for giving us this platform.
Thank you.
I want to give you all your 3 minutes of fame, where they can find you. Give all of your social media. I'm going to go right from left on my screen. Give all of your social media, where they can find you, websites, what you're doing now, how they can support, how they can hit your Cash App, because that electric bill just came and a bunch of us are entrepreneurs right now, and we tired of just putting $50 on a $300 electric bill to keep it on. We want to be able to just pay the whole electric bill sometime. So I'm going to start with you, Asia LASTARR.
All right, you know what? I got like 50 million books right here, but I'm gonna actually like shout out this like recent book that me and my sister did called On Being Black. And so
what is it called? What is it called again?
It's called On Being Black.
Okay, got you.
And but usually everything you can find me on is just like, you know, Asia LASTARR on. So Facebook, Asia LASTARR on, Instagram, LinkedIn. And then I got a website, AsiaLastarr.com. Cash App is, you know, $, Asia LASTARR on. So yeah.
That's what's up. And make sure you all get our books. What I love about her books, they are not just for Black and brown children, they are diverse. They tackle everything from your hair down to everything. Just get her books and support her, because she is making children books that's going to be relevant in helping the literacy rate amongst children. So rock what you got. Get that book.
Hey, this one right here, Jalen's gonna be a barber. Jalen, that's my nephew's name, but the barber is based off my cousin Dwight, you know. And then also, which shoes shall I choose? This is a sister, you know, a book me and my sister did together. But yeah, we just like literacy in our community. Again, don't talk about like, you know, the problems. What are we gonna do? And again, literacy and education is something that's really important. So, you know, my little 12-year-old nephew just wrote a book. You know, it's all about
nice. Congrats.
Do something, right? So
we appreciate that. What's the name of your nephew, Bill? You know it off the top of your head?
Yeah, Little Boost. It's all
Little
about
Boost.
Like, you know,
Little Boost. Who?
Kavi Draper.
Kavi
Draper.
Kavi Draper has a book called Little Boost. He's a 12-year-old Black boy in the city of St. Louis. Go pick it up. All right. What about you, Accurate? Where can they find you? Where can we get you? Where can we get all of your brilliance from?
Yeah. So if you want to support your boy, my Cash App tag is everything for me. So Accurate the Wise, all my social media, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I probably tell people like, you know,
it's Accurate the Wise with an A for the, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Just gonna throw it out there. I'm dropping an album, my next album in like the next maybe couple months or whatnot. So
you had 2 songs featured on this amazing web series called It's Complicated.
It's Complicated, you know what I'm saying?
Written, directed, and produced by Sir ErvinJWilliams.
My boy Sir ErvinJWilliams, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? So that was fire. Yeah, but I tell people I'm happy to be a part of the culture. I just want to use my talent correctly to help people. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing with me. But yeah, if you want to support me, I take kind words, I take hugs, you feel me? Handshakes. You want to throw some bread in the situation? I got plenty of merch, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much anything you think about put a logo on, I probably got it already. And,
Nice.
so
Show,
yeah.
hold up, Accurate, because you're not selling yourself properly. Show one of them amazing shirts that's in back on that table that you covered.
In a large.
In a large.
In a large.
Sir Sunday Spitters accept all
I hope you
gifts.
got extra large.
I got all that. That's the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Logo.
I'm waiting for my shirt. Yeah.
And that cotton is made from pure virgin cotton. That cotton has never been penetrated. It was made by the virgin hands of Black women all around the world, made that cotton shirt.
Talk, you feel me?
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but that's it. Like, you know, I tell people, like, no matter how far I get with my artistry, I'm still a normal human being. Like, hey, I'm humble to the core. You feel me? That's just me.
Absolutely. Shout out to Victor Johnson too, who's supposed to be on this show as well. He's another poet out there doing big things. Shout out, Vic. We see you on them. And you're a millionaire now, so you need to send everybody in this cash out $50, $11. All right. What about you, 16 boys?
Oh, well, my cash app is, of course, the $ and Randall Irvin, IRVIN. So that is my cash app. However, I am a heating and cooling specialist. I don't just say, you know, I'm trained, I'm a specialist. I've been doing this for over 20 years. So if you have any problems with your heating and cooling, holler at me. I got plenty of testimonials. You can look at my page, holler at my people on my page. They'll let you know, oh yeah, he get busy with what he do. So that's what I do. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? If you want to book me for a show, just holler at me. I'm on Facebook. Other than that, don't look for me because you ain't gonna find me.
What's your name on Facebook?
Rondell Irvin.
Rondell Irvin.
Rondell Poet Irvin. You know what I'm saying?
And where can they find your music, Rondell Poet Irvin? You
can find my music on all the platforms, on Tidal, any of them. You can find it on all the platforms. You look up, that'll be under 16 bar, Poet 16 bars.
Poet 16 bars. You can find all his music on Tidal, Spotify, Google, everywhere. Same thing with Accurate. You can find this. You know, you on my Tidal playlist. I ain't gonna say nothing about that. But anyway, all right. What about you, Energy?
That's right, Energy. Again, that's INNERGY and me on everything, Instagram, Facebook. You can also access my link tree. There you can see my most recent feature in the St. Louis American, as well as on KSDK. I've done a couple of interviews just really telling people about how I started the open mic and about my journey as a mother, as an artist, as a multi-hyphenate creative. So definitely check that out. The Word Up website just dropped today. So if you go to wordupopenmicstl.com, you definitely grab tickets to the open mic night. For any week, we do a monthly improv comedy night, and we also do a $100 cash prize comedy competition. So it's always live, it's always a vibe. We're so much more than just an open mic. So yeah,
where can they find that again? Come
through and check us out. wordupopenmicstl.com. The website is live. We also just launched our Word Up Writing Club, which is really just a way to get more creatives together, stimulate their mind, and get to that writer's block. Just might want some people to help encourage you to write more. So yes, the Word Up Writing Club, it just launches on Patreon. Join the membership, it's $5, but it definitely has been helping me continue to write more this year because that's a goal of mine. So Word Club. Oh, and yes, so through the website, all these open mics, of course, need as much support as possible. Open mics are watering holes. They bring all levels of artistry together. And if we don't have open mics, especially even with times like this today, while we do have the limited ability to gather, we have to continue to pour our love and our support into the creative arts community. So we just launched a GoFundMe. We have a goal of raising $5,000. We have a team of artists that are now helping me push the open mic night. So shout out to my squad, gang. Yeah. Definitely so proud of these folks, so proud of these artists, but that capital is going to allow us to really create the foundational, or just solidify the foundational aspects and elements that will allow Word Up to be able to take its name to other cities, and to even, you know, develop a way in which this team can go on tour and so on and so forth. So definitely check us out. Go to the website, check everything out, especially with folks being concerned about COVID and whatnot. We do have strict COVID policies and protocols that we adhere to ensure that everybody's having a safe and fun time. But yes, I'm encouraging everybody to get out. If you've never been to open mic before, we might as well try us.
Where's the location again? The location.
We are Tuesday nights, every single Tuesday night. We're held in a showcase in the historic, the legendary Legacy Cafe that's 5249 Delmar, right between the Delmar Loop and the Central West End. So easy to find. Tickets are live online right now. We do prefer a contactless payment method. So for those who want to get those tickets in advance, they do get priority seating, but y'all pull up. And matter of fact, early arrival is suggested because that sign up list, yeah, it fills up so quick. It's a lot of people that's hungry, eager to hit that stage, eager to rock the mic. But it's definitely a lot of folks looking forward to, just supporting the show. So I just encourage everybody to get out to support. And even if you can't make it, if you make a donation or if you buy a ticket in advance, that just goes towards supporting our open mic platform. So much love again to you, Sir Ervin, for allowing me the opportunity to be a part of this. This is amazing. Shout out to Real STL News for continuing to be a pillar within the community. News, gotta love it. And yeah, just big up to everybody who's on this feature today. Like, this is great.
Yeah. It's like the energy so dang on dope. I didn't even realize that we've been talking this long. What about you? What about you, X-Blue Rain? Where can people find you? Your social media websites, your 398 books. That's the third time I mentioned that. I'm playing the numbers. Where can we find you at?
All right, you guys. So you can Google me at XBLURAYNE. You can find me on my pages here. Actually, I have 3 dynamics to myself. I am a poet, I am an intuitive spiritual counselor, and a crystal healing jewelry designer. So I actually have X-Blue Rain spoken word, Cynthia's Adornments and Practical Magic by RAYNE. You can find me on Instagram as well. My TikTok be popping because I be clowning. For those of you who have found me on TikTok, if you see it on TikTok, mind your business. On this beautiful book right here will be relaunching on Friday. It will be relaunching on Friday at Amazon, and by next Friday, all 7 of my books will be back active. I've had to go back and just do some re-editing, so getting some things together. If you like music, you can find me on Spotify, you can find me on Tidal, and you can also find me on Apple Music, and I also stream on Pandora. I have upcoming projects. I'm currently working on my 3rd album. It's called Triple X, and so, but it's not sexually based, which is a surprise coming from me, but I'm getting it, so I ain't got to write about it. Hallelujah. So God is good.
This is why you do not allow Black people on camera, because they just do Black people stuff.
Yo, getting it, so I ain't got to write about it, but I definitely want to shout out everybody on here. It feels like a family reunion.
Oh, shout out to people who sent y'all cash apps.
Yes, and also I'm getting to that. Let me get to my email. I want to shout out Janae. I want to shout out Michael A. Carnes. I want to shout out Jennifer Washington. Thank you, Raven. Thank you, Carolyn Hudspeth. And thank you, M217.
Appreciate it. We appreciate it.
On the M217. So I want to say thank you to you, Ervin, for putting this together. I have not done anything like this in a minute, since it's pretty much been, me working. This was fun, very refreshing, very inspiring. I want to say that I've known everybody here from 5 to the last 11 years. And so I just want to say thank you guys for continuing to keep our craft going, because y'all helped me stay in it. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny, Ervin, you said you wrote that poem in 2017. I don't know if the date on this paper says November 28th, 2016 is when I wrote the Black piece. So thank you for giving me a place for that. And I just look forward to what's next. And shout out to Real STL News. Shout out to Jennings for allowing Ervin to be safe tonight, so that way he can do it.
That's a councilwoman. That's a councilwoman got over here safe.
And shout out to Ervin's mama, who keep me laughing on all his things.
Listen, I'm gonna get on Facebook one day, y'all. Everybody shout out. I'm gonna shout out, and then let's shout out the people who sent us. Thank you to Janae. I appreciate you. Michael A. Corns, Teresa Anderson, Jennifer Washington, Raven, Donald Jones. Thank you all so much for the cash apps. Anybody else get cash apps that you want to shout people out for?
Oh yeah, thank you.
And Teresa Anderson is my aunt, so y'all shout her out.
Thank you, Teresa. Shout out to Carolyn, Raven, Michael, Janae, y'all are definitely the real MVPs. Much love. That was
Janae, Michael, Raven, Teresa, you already snorted. They said everybody. We love y'all, man. You know what it is.
Teresa ain't on mine, but she likes my poem. So thank you, Teresa.
Anyway, thank you, Janae, Michael, and Raven. Appreciate the love.
Yeah.
What's up?
Janae, Michael, Antoine, and Raven.
That's what's up. We appreciate y'all. Once again, on the behalf of Real STL News and myself, Sir ErvinJWilliams, I appreciate this because you all did this as a favor to me, and I know I try my best to not take anybody craft for granted, because I know these are your gifts that has been given to you by the Most High God of it all. So I just thank you all for being here. Thank you, Asia LASTARR. Thank you, Accurate. Thank you, 16 Bars. Thank you, Energy. Thank you, Blue RAYNE. And once again, I am Sir ErvinJWilliams. Y'all can find me on all social media and platforms at Sir ErvinJWilliams. That's Ervin, ErVin, no G, no I at the beginning. Sir ErvinJWilliams, and I just want to kick it with y'all, and we're gonna turn this music up. 16 Bars and Accurate and Asia LASTARR, go on, kick something to this funky groove beat and go on, play us out. Y'all know y'all be like, get back.
1 for the trouble, 2 for the pain, 3 for the ones who hustle and overcame. Y'all looking for change, don't like the picture in the frame because the fruit looks strange that hang from the tree, and life no guarantees. Get cast out to sea, the legend of the Judas tree. Dog, I get deeper with this artistry. I swear to God, nobody works this hard.
Hey!
Shout out. Look, you want to jump on the Accurate? I don't know if you can hear the beat. I don't know if you can hear Asia.
Yeah, check. Look, say, what's the definition of common sense? A simple kid trying to live in his providence. The promises of a promise and providence, we probably pushing people to evil. We see the occupants. Look, it's antagonist back again with the rap again. It's that capital punishment from the captain. And I conjure life through the fire with herb and attire. My soul be giving hope through the wire. So what's the count? It's 8 to 10. These public figures, this bigger villain, too vivid. My vision lies in this river. Mirror, clarity, controversy with scriptures. I kicked and I pushed my way to that food and liquor. Look, I say, I'm not right, just righteous and harbor the sights of these men will act right just like us. I say, look, it's been middle fingers to Trump. What's the rules in the world when your legacy's in a dump, chump?
Hey! You gonna take the age you hopping on, or I'm gonna end the show? What's going on?
Yo, it's automatic that I'm dramatic, leaving you ecstatic with my captivating flow. Got you look like an addict, you know I'm sign up your lines with my lyrical static. I'm constantly up on your mind, cause my flow is sporadic like mine. Sexuality, mentality on lock. I'm busting through your neighborhood in full force like a Glock. Got me winding up my time, rounding round like a clock. Confessing to my sins, leaving haters up in shock when I cock my verbal lethal weapon. Beware, cause I'm blessed with a crest in the contest that'll make you wanna confess and stare. My style you can't compare. Got nature in my hair. Attire takes me higher no matter what I might wear like welfare. I got you depending on me. I plant my seeds in the middle of your property so properly. That's how I violate my foes with an ounce of my flows. Cover your body like clothes, making you wish that you had never chose to compete. Annihilating all foes, leaving them under my feet. And when I stun spiritually like God's property, I got the whole world asking who it be.
Hey!
Bars!
Accurate, 16 Bars and Asia LASTARR. They talk about what they mean ain't no MCs in St. Louis. What they mean ain't no female MCs in St. Louis. You better come in here and shut it down.
Whatever.
Yo, let me get up, Alfred. Y'all hit me back up in the inside of the group. I'm about to record this and then we gonna take it out. Peace, everybody that tuned in. Y'all just killed it.
Y'all, everybody.
Peace, everybody.
Thanks.
Much love, poets.
Peace.
Love you guys.
Yo, it's your boy Sir ErvinJWilliams coming to you with Sunday Spittas, presented by Real STL News each and every Sunday of this beautiful Black History Month. We gonna be interviewing some of the dopest poets, the dopest spoken word artists, the dopest hip hop artists all across the country. So come check us out, get cute, dress up, come to your living room. It's all virtual, it's all free. Yo, and did I mention it's all free? Check us out with some of the dopest to ever do it in the city of St. Louis and all across this country. Hope to see y'all there. Peace. Lock us in.